What's up, people? Think you know what time it is? It's true. It's true. It's a Sunday. Got so many things on my mind. I know my boy Tony's out there somewhere. I know he wants to talk. Do some real talk. Tony, where are you, Tony? We gotta talk a little bit about the biggest fight ever. What do you guys think? You wanna talk about this fight? It's time for some real talk. Oh my goodness, so many things going on, so many stocks. What are you guys giving me? MMEX, AMLH, yes, big winners. Big winners. Look. What are we looking at? What should I be looking at? MMEX, yes, it's hot. Let's take a look. What are we looking at? Is it on my list? What do you think? It wouldn't happen to be on my list, would it? Of course it's on my list. Come on, people. We're on the same wavelength here. We're on the same wavelength. We know what's up. We know that MMEX is up 71%. Yes, it's true. It's up 71%. What is going on, people? The rooms are blowing up. Chat rooms are blowing up. Everybody wants to know what's going on. I know Tony is in Florida, and we should be hearing from him soon. Tony, we're live, my friend. He's going to get angry at me. I couldn't hold it any longer. I had to come to you, people. I felt it. It was time. It was time. We're still thinking about last week, aren't we? Aren't we still thinking about the Freaky Friday? MMEX up 71%. And you want to talk about AMLH. That's right. AMLH up 175%. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Wow, that's winning right there. That looks like winning to me. What do you think? I like me some AMLH, eh? Who doesn't like going up 175%? This is crazy. Our friend Tony, if he's out there, now we know he's in Golfer's Paradise somewhere in Florida, and he is surrounded by a lot of really good dancers. We saw the video. We saw the video evidence. It's true. Would you guys like to see some more stocks? Take a look at TRR. Up 46%. Are you ready? Monday is almost here. It's right. It's true. It's Sunday, and we're coming back from... I think Tony's in Florida, apparently. The last time we saw him, he was in Michigan. And I know everybody's picking Floyd for the biggest fight in history. And I still think that my boy Connor... I think Connor's got that left hand, and he's got that Mystic Mike. You know, Mystic Mac. You know, he's gonna do something special. You know, I think he's got something up his sleeves. I just think he does. I think it's true. I think he has something up his sleeves. And then there's like all these stocks being promoted tomorrow. And there's this one right here. Oh, what is that? Could it be? Could it be? Hello, Tony.
What? What up, man?
We're live, my friend, but I can't see you.
You know why you can't see me? Because this doesn't come off until...
Oh, there we go. There's the man right there.
You know, that don't come off until every Sunday when it's time to air Rich Live TV. Then it goes right back. It goes right back on until next week. So that's how I roll.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So wait a second. So
why can't I see you?
You can't see me?
No, I got a little pole there that says buy, hold, and sell, like a street pole.
That's really weird. I don't understand. I don't know why you have that pole there. But I can assure you that I can see you. And we are live right now on YouTube. So don't worry about me, my friend. You look really good.
And I had to change T-shirts, man. I had that same Badger shirt on all day. And it's, you know, the humidity down here, man, it's hard to breathe.
Hard to breathe, man. I could take some of that right now. It ain't anything like that out here in Vancouver. Hard to breathe. My goodness. Yeah, why? What is it like? How hot is it out there right now?
Well, it's about 85 today.
85. Wow.
Yeah, man. It was real humid today. So
I could take me some 85. We're about 12 degrees Celsius. Do you know what that is?
I live in Wisconsin. Don't offend me like that.
So you know how the conversion works, right? So you know we got to play the conversion game here in Canada, right? We don't.
Oh man.
We're not dealing in Fahrenheit like you guys. We deal in Celsius for some reason. So it's very interesting. We can't get.
So what's going on, world out there? How y'all doing, everybody? I hope y'all been following us on the chat. Some interesting things we've been posting today for all y'all that ain't members of the chat room. Y'all missing out. Y'all need to sign up for that right away because we have a real good time in there. So
yeah, Tony's just literally just putting on a show all the time. It's fantastic.
I just popped you up on a little YouTube video there, so.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's great. Well, there's a lot of good things that are happening. There's a lot of stocks being promoted for tomorrow. One of the stocks that's
Rich, you wearing shades right now? Like, what's going on, man? What's going on with those shades, man?
Hey, man. You know what? I really love YouTube, and there's a guy on YouTube that I follow, and he's featured on our channel. His name is Casey Neistat. And he seems to feel like it's a great idea to wear shades, so I thought I'd do it too.
Oh, all right. I feel you. Let me open this up a little bit. You can go set up outside, but
you can see me, but I can't see. You can see me now.
Well, it's kind of I'm watching a YouTube video and it's probably delayed about 5 seconds on there, but I can't see you on the Skype video. That's crazy. I don't understand.
Well, we're up to 20 people in the room right now, Tony. So I don't think anybody cares, bro.
Rich, they've been waiting all day, man. Oh, it's a lot to talk about.
Well, you know what? Before you got on here, I was talking about the fight. And I was talking about, SHARI actually. I think SHARI should tell us her opinion because she's in the room.
What's up, SHARI?
SHARI's in the room.
She sent me a message, Tony the Tiger.
Oh, SHARI, if you're watching, you should just call us right now because I want to know, because I want you to break it. Because she told everybody in the room that news is 6 hours old.
Wait, hold on. Back up. What's 6 hours? What's 6 hours old?
Well, that's why I want SHARI to talk about it.
Call up, SHARI.
SHARI. I'll let SHARI announce it. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about it. Don't worry. I'll put some music on. We're just getting started, people. Don't you worry. Yo, so where are you? Where are you right now? You're in a hotel room?
No, I'm in my in-laws. They got a 3-bedroom, so I'm in the guest bedroom here.
Oh, okay. So you've been staying with family in Florida?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Crazy. So what's like all
Yeah.
the partying going on and the festivities and all the videos that we saw? Like, what's up with that?
I've never seen people at this age get it in like this in my life. I mean, I don't know if you didn't see the video I posted, but they was at the restaurant I was just at. The DJ was playing, drop it low, and so better be careful. So they started getting low, and I looked at I said, I hope to God they could get back up. But dude, they was getting low.
That's just not right, man. There should be an age limit to getting low, bro. Like, I think over like 55, you shouldn't get low anymore. I think.
Dude,
I'm just saying.
You can't tell them that. These people,
Wow.
they living a life down here. It ain't too much to be upset about,
I guess not.
I just, kind of, I've been in Wisconsin in that cold all the time like that. I would say majority of, the elderly that I see seem a little miserable, and I can understand that. Your bones don't really hold up that well anymore, and it's sub-zero weather, but down here, everybody is so friendly. Like, overly friendly. When we first got here, I thought it was just a bunch of crap. I'm like, come on, man, these people just... But I believe I will be retiring here, without a doubt.
Okay, so where exactly are you? In Orlando? Is that where you are?
Nope. I'm an hour west.
An hour west of Orlando.
Yes, look it up, you guys. It's called The Villages.
The Villages. That sounds interesting. I like that. That sounds very nice.
I think it's like over 20 golf courses here. That's why you see everybody in golf carts. They don't drive cars around here. It's too many. It's golf courses everywhere. 18-hole golf courses. They got like 5 professional golf courses. It's insane, man. It's insane. Look it up online, you guys. Check it out. I never heard of the place until now. So it's a good place. I like it.
So, this has been a great weekend. There's been a lot of things that have been happening in sports. We're going to let SHARI break the news if she calls. If SHARI doesn't call, then I'm going to have to ask someone else to call and break the news because we just put it out there. So we might as well let someone else call in and break the news. I want SHARI to do it because she broke it in the room, apparently.
Oh, yeah?
In our chat room. Well, that's what she's saying. So I figure, I don't want to break the news. It's not my news. So
let me ask you something. How long you been live? Were you live even before I jumped on?
I was.
How long you been on?
We're on for 14 minutes right now.
No, how long were you on prior to me? So about 5 minutes or so?
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know how I went live. It's so crazy. It just went live. I swear. I didn't do it on purpose.
We always chat before we go live, Rich.
No, I know. I didn't do it on purpose. I just started looking. I realized we were live, so I just rolled with it. I was like, okay, well, we're live. Since we're live, what am I going to do now?
Tony, let's go. Oh, snap.
It's this technology is finicky, right? Because if it just taps this button, boom, we're live. And I swear, it went live, and I don't even know how. It's so weird. I was actually thinking that, but I realized it. I saw it, and I was like, oh, we're live. And I just went with it. And then I started calling for you. I was like, yo, Tony, get on here, man, because we live, man. I didn't even want to go live, but we went live. So
yeah, the timing was perfect, man. I just walked in the door about 10 minutes ago. So
it's the power of the universe. It's the power of the gods and the power of the universe. The people that are watching the show, the community that we're creating. I'm getting a call. Guess who it is? Hello, we are live on YouTube. We are live.
Live? Rich? Hello?
We are live.
Sunday night. It's SHARI.
Hi, SHARI.
How are you?
We're doing very well. You're live with myself and Tony right now, and we heard that you had some breaking news that broke 6 hours ago.
That is correcto. The big fight that's coming out between Mayweather and Conor
Yes.
has been decided.
Wait, I didn't hear that. What'd you say, Cher?
They haven't told. Whoa. They haven't told us yet, but they decided it, and this is 6 hours ago. So we're not talking about 2 days ago, tomorrow. We're talking just 6 hours ago today. So I wanted to let you guys know because I'm excited.
Hell yeah, I'm excited too. I want to see Conor kick his ass. No offense to Floyd. I think Floyd is
I can't
amazing.
wait.
And Floyd, if you want to come on our show, I'd love to have you on our show. I'm not saying that I want you to lose. I just like to root for the underdog. That's really what it is. You know? I enjoy that. I like to root for the underdog. If Floyd was the underdog, I would root for Floyd. But because everybody's rooting for Floyd, I feel obligated to root for Conor. And the more I root for him, the more I feel like he's going to smash him. Like, I think he's going to...
Everyone's no.
He's going to pick him up. He's going to pick him up. And he's going to smash him. Watch.
I believe more people are rooting for Conor.
No way, man.
You know what?
No way. Everyone I talk to...
More people believe that Mayweather's going to win.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Everyone overwhelmingly says that Floyd is going to win so much. It's such a big favorite. It reminds me of when the New England Patriots were a favorite against the New York Giants and Eli Manning came out and beat Tom Brady. It just reminds me. It reminds me of that perfect season. You know, all they needed was the Super Bowl and they couldn't get through Eli Manning. So it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Conor's a bigger man. He's got a 2-inch reach advantage. He's younger. He's been fighting consistently. He fights all the time. He's practicing now. He's getting in the, you know, he's practicing with boxers, obviously. So.
Oh. You know what? He has to lose weight. He's got to come down.
Conor goes down. Conor goes down to 155 anyways. Conor has the 155 belt, and he has the 145 belt. It's no big deal for Conor.
Okay.
So he has those two belts already. Those are the two belts he has. He has the 145 belt and the 155 belt.
So he has to come back down because he's like one...
Well, he walks around at like 180. He walks around at like 180. So.
You know you got your glasses on now? Is it dark over there?
Well, like I told you,
Casey, that's what I'm tripping on. His glasses right
Casey
now. Casey Neistat.
Watching
him is like 10 seconds behind. So
Casey Neistat, who is one of the largest YouTubers and built like 6 million followers in a year, he just came out and said he had the biggest night of his life, and he owes a lot of it to YouTube. So I thought, if it's working for him, it'll work for me. And he wears his sunglasses at night and at day when he does his videos. And I thought, you know what? Sometimes I should be wearing my videos too because it worked for him, so I think it'll work for me too.
We should try to get a hold of that boy.
Hey, Casey, if you would like to get on Rich TV Live, my friend, I would love to have you on the show. Love to have anybody on the show. Like I said, you know, my show, this show, our show is not my show. It's our show. It's all of us coming together and finding a way to benefit each other, whether it is with stock picks, whether it is with just making each other happy, whether it is with information, sharing information, breaking information. When you're breaking that information, that makes me happy because I want to see this fight. I mean, there's been so much banter back and forth. I want to see this fight. I do. I'm excited for this fight.
I know.
I'm excited for the fight.
I think he has to get approved by the boxing. I think it had to go all the way like, hey, these people are from a different world. You know, even though he got his boxing license, yes. But they do come from a different world still. So I think that
I thought Conor got his license.
What?
Conor had his license. Conor got his license.
They gave Conor license.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. But I think that they really had to get... He got his license, I know. But I think before that, they had to really decide if they wanted to put these two people from different worlds. For sure they're from different worlds. Come on. So, Conor's from the what? MMA? Is that what it is?
That's right.
Yep.
It's from the UFC.
Okay. So, and Mr. Mayweather is not from that world. So they use, even though, yes, he boxed before, Conor's boxed before, but still, it's a different world. Because, you know, who knows? Conor might decide to do a, low blow.
Oh, I think that's...
Now, I think that's going to happen.
I think that's very likely.
Natural.
I think that's very likely. Nobody gives any respect to the UFC. Nobody's giving any respect to the UFC. I'm telling you right now. Conor's going to shock the world. Conor's going to shock the world.
I'm ready.
Conor's going to shock the world, ladies and gentlemen. Conor is going to shock the world. So I just think it will be a great story.
Oh my god.
Mayweather goes out
what
there.
I need to tell you to like.
Mayweather goes out there, and then Connor's out there in his karate stance.
Believe something like that.
Connor's in his karate stance. Connor's in his karate stance. How does Mayweather hit him? I'm trying to understand. Like, I'm trying to understand how you guys... Do you guys watch Conor fight?
Oh, my God. Please do that karate stand against Floyd and watch what happened to him.
What's he gonna do?
Kung Fu master. Please. Oh, my God. Please stand there in that Mortal Kombat stand and see what happens.
I'm telling you, man. He's gonna Kung Fu him, bro. He's gonna come in there, and he's just gonna give him an elbow. Boom! And it's gonna be end of fight. And then Connor's gonna walk off. He's going to give him an elbow, or he's going to kick his leg and break his leg. Watch. Something crazy is going to happen.
He's going to you know what's going to happen?
Something crazy is going to happen.
He's going to forget where he is.
Exactly.
It's so greasy, man. It's so humid. I'm like all sweaty and greasy. I got to take a shower.
Boom! And then there's going to be blood everywhere. Don't sit in the first row, man, if you're going. Don't sit in the first row. Because then you're going to get blood out of your feet. Where? Oh,
That's
my
right.
God.
That's what's going to happen. Connor's going to pick him up and throw him out of the ring.
No, he's going to pick him up.
Trust me, something crazy is going to happen, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm feeling it. Something crazy is going to happen.
He's going to get frustrated and just body slam, just pick him up.
Because Mayweather's going to be running.
Okay, look, I got a perfect... What movie did we watch where a wrestler fought a boxer?
What?
Oh,
Movie
that was
came out years ago.
That was with
where a wrestler fought a boxer, and the wrestler actually picked the boxer up with two hands above his head, and then he threw him into the crowd.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
that's where I got the idea.
That must have been Rocky.
Yes, you nailed it.
Rocky. Look at that, SHARI. Look at that. SHARI's on the ball,
Good
eh?
job, SHARI. She on her. She on it.
Oh my God, I'm really crazy today. You have to forgive me and just know that the show gets me crazy. I'm sorry. I'm okay now. I just had to go crazy. Either you like it or you don't, but I don't.
Okay, SHARI, actually, you know what? We're talking about all these trending topics, which is great, but let's get back to stocks for a second. BLTO. It's a stock that you own, correct?
Correct. Thank you so much, señorita.
So what do you think? What do you think about it? It's one of the most promoted stocks tomorrow. Is your plan to sell tomorrow into the momentum? What is your strategy?
Yes, because first of all, I'm up already. So when it's going to be,
I'm going to put it up here on the screen, okay, guys?
Big push,
Tony,
and I'm going to take my money and run because it's going to be. I'm already up. So I'm going to go up a little higher, take that money out, and run to the next BITCS or BITO or whatever.
Time to get the notebook out with all the picks.
That's what I'm going to do.
BLTO right now is a 96% buy with an average short-term outlook. So it was down 4% on Friday. It's at $1.78.
Excuse me. The only time
BLTO is where?
March 23rd.
At $1.78.
Did you hear me?
Sorry, go ahead, SHARI. What was that?
I'm so sorry. Let me rephrase. When I bought it on March 23rd, it hasn't been down one day since yesterday. So what does that tell you?
Well, it's up 5,000% right now. I just pulled it up. It's up 5,000% since July 25th. It's up 439% since January 18th. 249% since March 3rd. So this is just climbing and climbing. And it's actually, you know what, man? We got to give it up to the promoters because this is actually one of the promoters' picks. And you got to give it up to James Connolly and all the other groups that have jumped on this because they've done a good job. They've done a very good job on it. And the results have been very good. And we've been tracking it and we've been watching it. And you got to give this the respect on this deal to the promoters. They've actually done a very good job.
Air horn.
Well, I think we definitely need to give them some recognition because on Rich TV Live we like to give recognition. Yes, it's true. It's true.
I wish I could see you in real time right now.
Oh man, I don't know why you can't see me in real time. It must be just
Like
the
delayed a little bit.
it must be just the slow internet because whenever you stay at different places, there's always different internet. Sometimes that's the problem.
Yeah.
So-
Tony, he's got his hat on backwards, and he's wearing some shades, dude. Okay? The
Yeah.
sun's been out.
And
Tell me about it.
I'm wearing my original Portugal Cristiano Ronaldo jersey. You guys,
See?
If I told you I saw that jersey today on,
What did you do today, Mr. Rich?
I saw that same jersey on someone today.
do you guys know that Cristiano Ronaldo is he is the number one searched person in the world. Do you guys know that?
Woohoo.
I think he's the highest paid athlete.
He's the number one search person in the world. He has the largest social media presence in the world. Largest.
Really?
Oh yeah, the largest social media presence in the world.
For an
It's-
athlete?
The horn's still
No.
Or
going.
overall?
In the world. In the world. He is the most searched person in the world. Do
Why?
research it.
Just because he's that.
Wait,
He's a soccer player. He's one of the best in the world. He's one of the best ever. He just won the Euro Cup. He's like,
nice.
he's also like a model. He's like walks around and has his own clothing line. In Portugal, he has his own airport. He pretty much owns his own island. He lives in an island called Madeira in Portugal, which is an island. He pretty much owns that island because that's where he's from. And there's only like a small amount of people that live there. And he's like a king there. Like he's literally like a king there. Oh, look at this. We have another person. Hold on here. Hi, you are live on Rich TV Live.
I want to talk about the blue hair boogie that's going down in Florida with all them all-red golf carts.
I know that laugh from anywhere. Easily recognized. Surf's up, baby.
You already know what I think about the Conor McGregor and Mayweather fight. Now I'm telling you, Mayweather is going to show him what Fast Rabbit is all about. But I want to get in. I want to get in on this. I want to get in on this low riding golf cart, gangster swinging, blue hair booty conversation. Because I feel it sounds cool, dog.
Wow. Wow.
Did you see them boogie? They were getting low. How low can you go?
Mike, what is going on over there? Oh, yeah, I don't know. Is it 420 or is it 520 or 620 here in LA?
It's straight out comedy over there in Florida land, boy. Someone please call 911. Get my boy Tony out of Golfer's Paradise.
Tony's just happy to be away. I think that was the whole thing. He went to the village. Village people? Village.
Yo, I'm coming to the village. We're going to do some golfing. Them are some sick. They got some 20s rolling on there. They got some boom boxes set up on there. These golfers are serious about that game, dog.
Man, they don't play around. They do not play around. Hardcore.
You guys want to see some cool technology? Check this out. I don't know if you guys use this. Siri, check bar chart.
I don't see an app called Bar Chart. You could try searching the App
Oh, my
Store.
God.
Barchart.com. Watch this.
Oh, my God.
Barchart.com.
I love it.
I didn't find anything matching barchart.com.
Come on, Siri.
Whole live TV.
Jesus Christ.
W
Just type that shit in.
www.barchart.com.
Stop.
Oh, no, they didn't do it. Come on, Siri. Come on, technology.
Siri's being a bad girl.
Hey,
Oh, my goodness. Let me try again.
It doesn't look like you have an app named Trident. I can definitely look for it on the App Store.
Ready?
That's what.
www. Oh, my goodness, Siri. You know what? I give up on Siri. I give up on Siri and your technology. See technology?
Move to the
Can't count on technology.
Siri, are you serious?
Tony, move to the right, dude. Tone.
Look, Tony's on the full screen now.
Man needs to get Tone Loc up out of that golfer's paradise, boy. Man,
Poor Tone.
I lost my biscuits yesterday when they had YMCA on repeat for 45 minutes, dog. I lost it, bro. Really, like someone go kick. Someone flip it to the B side, please.
What's wrong with YMCA, man?
Do that.
You don't like
Do
YMCA?
the dance. Come on, man. The Y, M on the shoulders, C to the side, A above the head. Come on. You gotta get with the YMCA when we all when we're all talking on the phone, we can do it all together.
I'm
That's
telling
what
you,
we're gonna do.
now, Tony, I've never seen some blue hair boogie like I saw yesterday and today, dog.
Woo!
I just had to film it, man. I'm not the type to usually be. I pull out my phone on vacation, but I don't be filming. But man, it's.
So okay, let's talk about the basketball, the Sweet 16, the March Madness, the Final Four, which happened, the 2 games, and the final 2 tomorrow for all the marbles. Number 1 versus number 1, North Carolina versus Gonzaga. And a week ago, I predicted we would see a North Carolina Gonzaga final. Is that correct,
You
guys?
did.
Okay.
You did.
All right. So.
You gotta give your hat off to Gonzaga, man. They that was some serious balling going on yesterday for real against Carolina.
Okay, so who do you guys have winning? I want to know your picks. I'll give you my pick. I know who I think is going to win for the championship. Yeah. Who's your pick?
I want Gonzaga to win because I'm tired of seeing the powerhouse teams win, like your Dukes and your North Carolinas.
Yes,
But
I agree.
sorry, guys.
I agree.
I'm sorry. North Carolina's going to win.
First of all, they shouldn't even be where they are. Look who they beat to get where they are, and they got all the momentum. So, like the stock song, I'm going to go with the Big Mo.
So who are you picking?
That's right.
Who are you picking?
Are they the underdog?
Who are you picking?
Tony?
Gonzaga or North Carolina?
Who are you picking, Angel?
Gonzaga, bro.
Gonzaga.
Okay. And how about you, Sherry?
She picking Gonzaga too.
Okay, so
That's right.
I think, and I'm going to give you my reasoning. North Carolina was in the finals last year and lost.
And lost?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe they want revenge. And I believe they're going to win. So I'm going with you, Tony. I'm going North Carolina over Gonzaga. And I think it's going to be a great game. And I think it's going to be, I predict the score will be somewhere around 77, 74. Something like that.
Who's the underdog? Who's the underdog, really?
Gonzaga is the underdog, but look at what they've done in this March Madness. These guys have fought, they scratch, they dig. This underdog, Gonzaga is my pick. Those guys, they were really, I mean,
North Carolina is just too big. They got too big, too athletic, too skilled.
And you saw what happened because of their size last night. Did you guys see what
Yeah,
happened?
they just wear the other teams down. And that was they couldn't
game,
they got all the
other
offensive
team-
boards. They couldn't get any rebounds.
Exactly. They were too little. And they had 4 guys on the paint against 2. And they got 2 offensive rebounds. It didn't even matter. They're just too big.
So,
I just think that North Carolina, they're going to be hungry. They want that revenge factor. They got that taste of losing, and that's something that doesn't leave you. And you're only in college for so many years. You only have so many chances at it, and you're in there again.
that's right.
And I think Gonzaga might be a little bit more happy to be there. And I believe that North Carolina wants to win, and I believe North Carolina will win. But
That's a great analogy.
But I've been wrong before, so we'll see what happens.
I'm going to roll my dice on the momentum. These guys have got momentum. momentum coming in and the way they played last night.
Well, I think both teams have momentum. I mean, let's be honest.
Momentum away from North Carolina.
Yeah, like both.
I'm gonna give it to Gonzaga, bro.
No, but come on, man. Both teams have momentum. North Carolina's beat a lot of good teams. North Carolina's beat a lot of good teams, man. Kentucky, like strong powerhouse teams that they've taken out on the way.
Yes, North Carolina's had a much tougher schedule than Gonzaga. That's not even arguable.
Go with Carolina, but seeing Gonzaga and the momentum and what they've done in this tournament, man, you can't turn a blind eye to the underdog that is just beating up everybody.
Well, that's the beautiful thing.
I'm gonna go off the thing going Gonzaga.
Hey, well, you know, that's the beautiful thing about the show. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody gets a chance to be heard, and that's cool. And I respect your opinion. I don't agree with it, but I respect it.
That's your choice.
Similar to the fact that I don't agree that you guys think that, you know, Mayweather's gonna walk away with Conor and wipe his ass. I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I think Mayweather shocks the world, and Mayweather hurt. I think Conor shocks the world. He hurts Mayweather, and I think he probably ends up getting disqualified. I really do. I think he gets disqualified. I see him getting disqualified. I see him throwing an elbow because he's not going to be able to catch him. Mayweather's going to run, and it's going to be like this chasing game, and he's going to get frustrated. And he's going to just grab him, or he's going to try to kick him, or he's going to elbow him, or something.
Exactly.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Lose where he is, where he's supposed to be. He's going to revert back, pick him up.
He's going to panic. Because Conor panicked. Conor panicked in the first fight against Diaz and went to the ground, which was crazy because Diaz is like one of the best, most decorated jiu-jitsu fighters in the UFC. And is just so good on the ground. And then he got his back and he put him to sleep. And that's why Diaz always says, he goes, if the ref wasn't there, Conor's dead. Because I choked him out, he dies. In my brain, in my mind, that man has died already. Right? What's that?
We're sticking to this subject first, Angel. Wait for your turn. Keep going, Rich. Thank you. Hola.
Angel, what are you talking about?
Those surfing skills, Tony, are all sick, dog. Did you see that Hank Kim, bro? Rich, you didn't see that Hank Kim, bro.
Oh my God.
On a concrete that was sick.
Yeah,
oh my God.
no water.
What, you were surfing?
In the tunnel.
You were surfing?
Yeah. Tony he was hanging dead, bro.
Is this true, Tony? Were you surfing? I gotta show the footage. I want to see the footage. Like, seriously.
Oh, damn it, Angel, man. No. I took a picture, like, at this fake-ass, like, surfboard thingy, man. I don't know. I wasn't. No.
Now he's laughing. He's like,
bro, it looked like Mike Tyson was surfing, dog. That was out cold.
I'm going to get my phone so I can share this picture.
Yeah, get it.
I think it's great. You're not afraid to do something like that. Give it up to you, Tone.
Oh, Tony.
The tiger.
Tony has no fear.
Tony the tiger.
Tony needs his own show. Tony is going to spin off of Rich TV Live, and he's going to get his own show. That's what I've been trying to talk to Tony about.
No, he's not. He's never leaving.
No. He needs his own show. Tony, the room is not big enough for me and Tony. The room is not big enough for me and Tony. Tony needs his own spotlight. He's his own celebrity. He's his own person.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was saying how you need your own show and how one day you're going to spin off and have your own show.
Hey, Rich, what were we talking about before we got interrupted?
Oh, we've been talking about all kinds of different things. We've been talking about the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight. We've been talking about BLTO. We've been talking about how that's being promoted and how it's a stock that you're invested in and how you're up on it.
I'm so happy about that. Thank you.
You welcome.
So, Rich, do I always want to invest in something that somebody's getting paid to promote?
That was from you, man.
That's their job.
My first pick that I took from you. Boom. And it's unbelievable. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm
Tomorrow,
super.
I don't know what I feel it. Tomorrow's going to be
They're
on fight. I don't even know.
they're getting promoted by a lot of promoters. So what promoters are, so you guys understand.
Please.
A promoter is somebody that has been hired by a company to send out an alert to their database.
Sorry, man. That's the bird. Can you hear it? Sorry, man.
That's the alert.
That bird is going up.
Full alert. Yeah.
Love that full alert.
So when you're in the situation like this, what you want to do is you have to recognize what's really going on. You got to pay attention to the details. You know, you really got to pay attention to the details. So, okay, when I get an alert, I'm signed up to all of these stock promoters databases, and they're getting paid 50 grand, 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 100 grand, 250 grand to go out to their database and send an email blast saying why they think this stock's going to go up.
Okay.
So if you guys go to jamesconnolly.com, or if you guys go to pennystockscholar.com, or if you go to a lot of different websites that are out there, you'll be able to identify all of these promoters that exist. Another one that I watch is National Inflation Association. So I watch a lot of these promoters, and what happens is they give alerts, and they tell you when they think stocks are going to go up and why. Now, their stocks are not always going to go up. BLTO is one that has gone up, and it has gone up and done extremely well. Tony, I'm going to put it on the screen here just to show you guys here. So if you take a look at BLTO, and I was showing you guys before, it was up 5,000%, right? So it's been just absolutely on fire, and it's one of the hottest stocks, and the promoters have done a good job with this stock. They've done what they were paid to do. You could see that this stock came from, 50 cents, March 6th, and today it's at $1.78. So you got to give it to the promoters. It's up 300%, and they're pushing it hard. They're pushing it hard.
Last time I looked at it.
They're pushing
Where
it.
do you think they're trying to get it to?
Well, they're pushing it hard, so obviously they want it over $2.
Have you looked at like the 5-year chart or like the 10-year chart to see where it's been at its max?
I don't really look at it at this point because it doesn't really mean anything to me. I just care about where it's at right now. See, the one thing you guys have to understand about markets, market makers determine the markets. These promoters, they can only do so much. At the end of the day, they're going to promote the stock. The market makers will really determine where that stock's going to go. What they're doing is they're just getting more eyeballs on it. So with the news that these stocks put out, the stocks are typically going to trade anyways. But when a promoter goes on his list and then these companies put out news simultaneously, okay, because understand, there's legalities involved with all of that stuff. There's certain things called insider trading, and you have to know what you're doing, and you have to understand the legalities involved with news and insider information and how that is handled and how it's established. If you read these companies' press releases, when they put out these press releases, and you see these promoters give their alerts, read the bottom of their alert, go to the bottom of their alert, and just type in Google penny stock promoters, penny stock promotions. And all the different promoters will pop up, and then just go and sign up to their database. Sign up to all of their emails.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I do. But don't buy their stocks. Don't buy their stocks. You got to watch them because a lot of promoters suck. So what I've been doing is I've been watching them for years, and a lot of them just suck because a promoter can't really move these stocks. The stocks move because of news, and the market makers determine that the price is undervalued based on the company's EBITDA, based on the company's earnings, based on the company's revenue to debt ratio. So based on those fundamentals, the market makers, hedge funds, market makers, the big boys, the elites, the people that decide where things go, they're the ones that say, this stock is not worth $20. It's worth 20 cents. So stocks don't just go up like they used to back in the day because those are called pump and dumps. And pump and dumps if you've heard that expression before,
all the time,
are associated to penny stocks a lot. And a
Okay.
lot of penny stocks promoters have gotten rich taking advantage of stocks movements when realistically they can't really move the stocks. They can't. So when I give them the kudos, it's not to say, hey, this is all because of you. No. It's because of the market makers. And it's because of the news. And it's because of the company. But what the promoter did is they did a very good job of telling people like me, the investor, hey, this stock is going up, people, and get in. And if you got in, like SHARI did, you're winning. So they did their job. They're getting real investors involved in the company through their method of communication, because I get an alert, I tell you guys, and then you guys tell people, and then that's how it works. But they're not individually responsible for that. That's like me saying I'm individually responsible for BLTO. I might be even more responsible than they are. Because I know real people that have bought the stock based on the fact that I've talked about it. You know? So I don't know how many people bought the stock based on the fact that they talked about it. I didn't even buy the stock just because they promoted it. But I talk about it on the show and then people buy it. Even though I always say you should not buy a stock just because I talk about it. Ever. Do your own due diligence. Make sure you really like the company. Make sure you're buying it because you want to buy it. Don't buy it because I say you should buy it, or Tony says you should buy it, or SHARI says you should buy it, or some promoter says you should buy it. Because if that stock goes down, that promoter is not going to give you your money back. So why are you making a decision based on them, or based on me, or based on anybody? You got to make decisions based on yourself. You got to learn to trust your own gut. And nobody knows who's going to be good at stocks.
Right.
That's
And
the beauty of it.
The big DD. What's the big DD stand for?
Due diligence.
That.
Yes, sir.
Because if you don't do your due diligence, you're going to get burnt every time. Because a lot of promoters, and that's how I learned this, a lot of promoters, they suck. They go out there, give an alert. They don't even do their due diligence. They're just doing the alert because they're getting paid. So they have to do the alert. Even though the company might be garbage. So they got to still do the alert. So, that's the problem. And then they can burn their list. And then all of a sudden, all their investors say, oh, this guy, he sucks now. So the next time he gives an alert, they're not going to buy it. And then that alert might go up. And that's the crazy thing about the markets. Their next alert might go up. Their next alert might go down. I've bought alerts that have gone up, and I've bought alerts that have gone down.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
What do you think, like an average when they go up and because I've been in it and I wanted to kind of get out of it. I don't know. I must have maybe fallen asleep on it or something. So I got lucky, but I don't want to hold on to it too long. You think like a good, maybe if it goes up tomorrow, 20%, 30%, good time. Because that's what I want to do.
I mean, that's how I trade. That's how I trade. I like to make between 10 to 30%. I'm always happy to make 10 to 30% of my money. That's kind of my number.
That's on a minimum. That's on a minimum of $1,000 investment, right?
Well, I don't do $1,000 investments, but
you go hard.
Oh yeah, I usually do at least $3,000 to $10,000 investments.
If you can get four rounds and score anywhere from 20 to 30% and take your money and run, and you do that 4 or 5 times, and you don't need to worry about the big hit at 100. So that's how.
Yeah, because
by reducing all that overhead and doing smaller but effective trades, I'm winning more than I was before.
Because we're not thinking about the 100, 200%, because that is a diamond. That is not that's like a diamond in a rough. It's not going to happen that often. It might happen 5, 10 times a year.
Right.
But stocks that go up 20, 30%, that's every day. So if we can identify that in real time with our community, and we can really get in to get those 10, 20, 30% moves, we're golden, man. Because even if you're playing with $1,000 or $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, that adds up. Like I like to have teams of stocks. My thing is I have teams of stocks. So it's like fantasy football. For me, stocks is like fantasy stocks. They're companies. I buy these companies and I look at it like it's a long-term investment. And if they go down, I buy more. I lower my average cost until eventually I wait for a massive spike. That way they never leave my watch list, ever. And I never try to put too much into one stock at one time. I've done that mistake. I've made that mistake before and it never works. It's always better to put a little bit into stocks. Little bit. 2,500 to 5 grand. Maybe 10 grand into a stock at a time. At a time. Because for me, if I put in, let's say 3 grand, that's kind of my number. Let's say I put in 3 grand in a stock and I like a stock and it moves 30%. That's $1,000. So that's kind of the way I look at it. So, okay, if it moves at 30%, so I'm looking on bar chart, top 100%, top 1% signal strength. Those are the stocks that got the big mo. They already got the momentum. So you can find those 10, 20, 30% moves. And you can find them every day. And if you can get good at that and just get disciplined at just taking your money and running and not even thinking about more. Don't even think about it. Don't even care about it. Who cares if it goes? Because you see what happens when you get emotional. I made a lot of money on DYA. I did really well. Enough money to be really happy for a few months, okay? On one stock that I was holding for months. And then I sold and made like 400%, And it was amazing. And then I immediately took some of my profits and put it back into the stock. So stupid, And then it went down because I got emotional because I thought to myself, I didn't want to lose the movement. When I could have just took that money and put into another stock that had movement. It's stupid.
Next.
And it's like some will, some won't. Next. That has to be some will, some won't. So what? Next. That has to be the principle. And even myself, I get emotional and I make decisions based on my own show. I get on the show, I talk about Snap. I get all excited, I go and buy Snap. I get on the show, I talk about DYA. I get all excited, I go and buy DYA. It's a perfect example of what not to do. Do not buy stocks on emotion. It's the worst thing ever to do. Every time I do it, I lose. And I've been holding both of those positions, and I've lost in both of those positions. Now, I haven't lost because I didn't sell. But do I think long-term I'm going to win in both companies? Of course I do. Can I buy more to lower my average cost? Of course I can. But why buy at these prices? It's so close to where I bought both of them. So for me, it's like, if they go down more, then I'll consider buying them. But at these levels, I'm pretty close to where I bought them. I'm down 10%, 15%.
Okay.
So it doesn't really concern me. But if you get down on a stock like 50%, then I would definitely consider buying more. But I also watching, because if it keeps going down, 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 you don't want to buy. You want to wait until it hits a bottom and starts to turning around. And if you don't see that distinctive turn, why even buy it? It's a sinking ship. Just wait it out and try to get as much as you can at the lowest price possible. So what it does, it'll lower your average cost. I've done this before on stocks that I bought for like $1. And then I waited out until they go all the way down to like 10 cents. Which is just painful. But anyways, you pick up a bunch more shares, and then all of a sudden, your average cost is no longer $1. Your average cost might be 20 cents. So now it runs back up to 20 cents, and you can get out of that stock. You didn't lose any money. And you just get out because you have a bad taste in your mouth about the company. Because you've seen it go from $1 to 10 cents. You don't want to be in that stock anymore. That was a bad experience, that stock. That's why I say, don't go into a stock with all your money. Go in like a sniper and get a position. Look at it like it's a position in a company that you own. You're buying a company. It's not just a stock. That's why I always say, don't sell stocks. Why would you sell the stock? If you believe in the company, why would you sell the stock? You never know when it's going to take off. I've seen stocks take off like thousands of %. And I've made like 10 times my money multiple times. So why would I want to give up on a stock? You just never know. And sometimes these stocks just, they either have a promotion or all of a sudden they get into medical marijuana all of a sudden and boom, the stock explodes. And we've seen it time and time again. So you never know when you're going to get lucky. And CDII is a great example. CDII this week. CDII is one of those deals. MMEX too. those companies exploded this week out of nowhere. So they're always happening. The key is just getting positioned, getting in early, and taking your money and running, and not getting too in love with the stocks. Don't get in love with the stocks. Don't get attached to the stocks, because the stocks don't owe you anything. And if they lose you money and they take your money, they will take your money and
They
run.
don't care.
They don't care.
That's right.
So why do you care about them? They don't care about you. Why do you care about them? It is just a financial instrument. It's the same thing I tell everybody. What are lines of credit? What are credit cards? What are bank loans? Financial instruments created by banks to make trillions of dollars. You know?
So what about, can you explain about, again, one more time, just so I know, because I'm going to do it tonight, where you put in an order and you put in what you wanted to buy at and what you wanted to, when it comes to that point, when you want to sell. That's the best way, right?
Yeah, so when I put in my trades, I put my trades in advance. So, for example, if I want to do a trade on, and I was just pulling up MMEX, MMEX is at 2.8. It was up 71% on Friday. It's one of the hottest stocks in the world, MMEX. Put it on your radar. Make sure it's on your watch list, guys. MMEX is a stock that could have made a lot of people a lot of money. Now, when do you know when to get in? When do you know when to get out? What I would do is, let's say you want to sell BLTO, okay? What price would you like to sell it at?
I say $2.
$2, okay. So go into your brokerage account and say, I would like to sell X amount of shares of BLTO at $2, limit order, good for the day, or have it good for the week, or have it good for a month. You can put it and leave it up there as long as you want.
Okay.
So you don't have to sit there and watch it. You can go to work and not stress out about it. And if it hits $2, you just made money.
I learned that so much later. I wish I would have known that when I first started trading.
Yeah, because I don't like to sit there and stare at the screen, because it's just, you get into this matrix and it'll destroy you. It will kill you. The average lifespan of a day trader is like 45. I'm not kidding. So is it?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, you're watching stocks go up and down every day. You think this is good for you? You know what I mean? You gotta find a way to make it fun, and you gotta find a way to have a plan, and you have to find a way to make returns. So either it's by dividend producing stocks, like your big banks that pay dividends that are guaranteed, so your money is safe and secure, or you invest in good, strong, big board companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Netflix, Tesla.
Wow.
These are all monsters. These are the players. Either you play with the big boys, or if you're going to play with the small companies, look for the best companies. Companies that are in the medical marijuana space, that are on fire. Companies that are in Bitcoin, which is on fire. Companies that are in virtual reality, which is the future. Companies that are in, there's also companies in mining, but mining isn't hot right now. There's companies in oil and gas, but oil and gas isn't really hot right now. So it's just,
But
you gotta.
hold on.
Go ahead.
You say mining isn't hot right now?
It's not.
But isn't that pretty much, when you say mining would be a good investment to get in because of Trump?
I think long-term gold is always a good investment. I think silver is a very good investment. But the gold and silver markets have totally stalled. And investing in Canadian mining companies, which I've done, and I currently have a lot of gold holdings, they've performed horribly since August. Horribly. Like horribly. And they've tried to...
I'm heavy in NAK.
No, I know you are. And you know exactly what's happened to NAK. So it's been a nightmare.
Oh, I know how you feel about it too.
Yeah, it's been a nightmare. So this is what I'm talking about. Like this, it's not been good. And I mean, from January until August, mining companies were hot. They were super hot here in Canada. And then in August, they all just fell off a cliff. And it's been garbage ever since. So I can't focus on the sectors that are dead and wait for them to turn around. That is not going to work for us. We have to focus on what's hot right now. What's hot today? What's going to be hot in a few hours when the market opens up?
Let me ask you something though.
Yeah, go
like
ahead.
why did the shipping stocks bang out for like a couple days and then just plummeted? What was that about? Do you know?
Because of Fukushima. Because Fukushima.
But Fukushima happened years ago though.
Bro, Fukushima is like the silent killer, my friend.
Right. I understand Fukushima totally.
So you understand?
I understand Fukushima happened years ago. But how did the shipping stocks move for a couple of days while Fukushima's happening?
Because the shipping stocks are in an industry that is dying because our ocean life is dying. Whales are washing up on shore everywhere.
That's right.
Sharks, fish, wildlife is dying all over the world. Here in Vancouver, as soon as Fukushima happened, radiation increased, I think it was 2% instantly in Vancouver within hours.
That's horrible.
So we are all...
And they didn't talk about it I bet they didn't talk about that in the media around you, did they?
Of course not.
No.
Of course not, because they don't want people to be scared. They want people to continue to make the elite money. As I was saying to you guys, we all work for paper that the elite print. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the game that we play in this life where we kill ourselves and we all floss around with our cars and our houses and our Rolexes? But the elite, they print it. And we got to really work for it. And we work our entire lives for it. Why? When we can just borrow, we can just get credit cards, lines of credit for free. And everyone could just live on welfare and live off the system. Why would you work? And now they're gonna give everybody in Canada licenses to go and buy marijuana at the local corner store.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can get cigarettes, you can get alcohol, and you can get marijuana too. So think about the world that's being created. Is it a world filled with people that are feeling good about themselves? Or are we living in a world filled with a lot of depression and a lot of mental illness?
Yeah, I agree with that, man.
And are the elite and are the super powerful and are the super rich doing this on purpose? And are they trying to numb the pain?
Hey, Rich, what's your opinion on Snap?
What's my opinion on Snap?
Yeah, we got Violet3737 asked the question in the chat room.
I think Snap has 2 billionaire 20-year-olds running it that are very smart, and I think that the company has been priced right accordingly because they made $404 million last year. But when they announce what they're going to make in the coming year and then the year after that, and their revenues go to $2 billion a year, and then they climb to $20 billion a year and $40 billion a year, and they continue to climb, I think Snap will eventually be trading at $100 a share. That's what I believe.
Wow. I miss Snap, but that's okay. I have others. I only want to keep to like 2 good ones. Focus on that. Don't want to get big. You know what I mean?
I don't think Snap will be huge if Snap doesn't acquire their growth. I think Snap will be huge if they acquire their growth. If they follow the same template that Facebook followed, that
they must.
Google followed, that Berkshire Hathaway has followed, which is acquiring your growth. Acquiring your growth. Tesla is following. Acquiring their growth. Acquiring their growth. When you get big and you get public, you have shares. You now have a public company and a private company. You have 2 companies. When you're private, you're just private. Your shares are worthless. You got no market to sell them in. When you're private and then you go public, you still have a private company that's generating revenue, but now you have a public company that generates paper, shares that are printed. It's called a printing press. A public company is a poor man's legitimate expression to operate and own their own bank. Understand this, people. So when you have a public company, you have your own bank. It's a printing press because you have a currency that gives you the ability to print. But if you overprint and you print too much, your shares get worthless. It's called dilution. So you have to have circulation. What is the most circulated? What is the most circulated company in the world? What is the company that has more shares trading than any other company in the world? Do you guys know this? You guys should know this. You guys are smart. Anybody know?
Berkshire Hathaway has more shares than any other company in circulation
No.
in the world.
No.
Yeah, B.
They have the highest share price. They have the highest share price at over 260,000 a share. The last time I looked, I think it might be a little bit lower. I don't know, it changes. It goes up and down, but Berkshire
Can you
Hathaway,
give us 3 picks?
the company right now in the world, the number one, you guys need to know this.
I bet I can guess it.
The number one company in the world with the most shares traded and the most shares owned in the world is Apple. Number one in the world. Number
I wouldn't
one
have guessed that.
in the world.
Wow.
That's right. They have more people that own Apple than any other company in the world.
And what is Apple at right now?
$144 a share and going up every day.
But why Apple?
Well, iPhones. What do you mean, why Apple?
Well, because I'm not an iPhone.
Well, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that have iPhones. There's a lot of people that have Mac computers. There's a lot of people that have desktop Mac computers. All my computers here are all iPhones. They're all Macs. All my computers are iPhone and Macs. Everything is Apple. Everything is Apple for me.
And are they?
Everything's Apple.
Everything is Apple.
Everything
Okay,
is
well,
Apple.
What if you? What? I just never get. I don't know why, but I just never got into it. But everybody I talk to has an iPhone, but I don't care what everybody else has. I guess you guys must like that product, correct?
I think it's superior. Yes.
Well, that's good to know.
I think it's
But,
superior. And you can see their products. I mean, when you go and buy a computer, they're always there. So that's the branding right there. They're always in every store. You see them everywhere. So that is the branding. That is the power of branding. And
Wow.
Apple
I
is
know,
everywhere.
that's
iPhone is everywhere. Yeah, Samsung's competing with them. But at the end of the day, not really. iPhone is everywhere.
big.
And they'll continue to come
You
up
know
with new
what?
phones. They'll continue to come up with new product. They'll continue to come up with new technology. And they're a monster. I'm telling you. All the big companies are giving them a buy rating and saying that they're undervalued. So expect that Apple stock will continue to go up. And I've been talking about Apple a lot on this show. And I expect them to continue to go up.
I have it. I love it. That's
Why wouldn't you love it? You know that they're going up. You've been watching it go up.
I love it.
Another company that's a monster is Amazon. Amazon is a monster. Amazon has doubled in the last year.
I looked, it was 847.
Amazon is Godzilla, Rich. Not just a monster. Amazon is going to be Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, they are already Godzilla. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
So you can't hide it. You
What
can't
about
hide
Netflix?
from it. You can't hide from it. You know? Am I in love?
Am I? New horseman. Netflix will be the fifth horseman out of the four.
Netflix is a monster.
They're looking at
Netflix is a
They're
monster.
looking at a growth potential of over $280 billion in the next 2 years.
Netflix is an absolute monster.
Netflix? Really?
Netflix is an absolute monster. Absolute monster. I love Netflix.
I love it.
Love them.
And has the stock gone down, or because it was high?
They've been performing well consistently. They've been consistent. They've been climbing. They've been performing well, and I believe they will continue to. They're a good company, and like I said,
Netflix is buying out the smaller cable companies and shows. They're doing acquisitions right now, so it's going to keep their stock at a normal pace. But I promise you, give them about 6 months with the content that they're coming out, you will no longer, honest to God, you will no longer go and pay for cable television because you'll get it all through one source. It will be Netflix. Netflix will be the next step in cable television evolution because the shows, the content, they're growing so fast and so rapidly that Netflix is going to be that fifth horseman.
And I have cable, unfortunately, and it's so expensive. It's horrible. So,
And that is That is the exact reason what you just said, Sherry, why Netflix is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company, $200-300 billion company in the next 2 years.
Yeah, well, I believe that. That's for sure.
Oh, they're a
You know what,
monster.
Chris, I was thinking, I don't know why, but like, who is Snap? I think of, I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna laugh. You know the game Pac-Man, where
Yeah.
those little things go,
Yeah.
they eat.
Yeah.
I think like somebody's gonna come by with like a little Pac-Man and eat them and take them and buy them and like acquire them. I don't know why.
No.
You feel like
The two owners are two billionaire owners. They're young guys in their 20s. Why would they want to get acquired? This is their show. This is their chance to be on Broadway every day. They're not going to do that.
Well, what if they get a nice big offer?
They own 100% of their. They own 100% of the voting rights of the company. They're the only company ever in the history.
If their stock drops down to 15 a share, you know and I know that Facebook will probably acquire.
Yeah, the public don't have no call on anything, right?
I don't see it happening. I think there's too many big boys involved in this deal. I think this deal is going to fly, and I think this deal is going to go up.
Let's make a bet.
Couple years, maybe.
Let's make
2
a
years.
deal.
I think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see it go up soon. I think it's going to have a good run.
Let's see.
I think it's going to have a good run. Stocks go on runs, guys. Stocks go on runs, guys. Like I see it all the time. They go on runs, and Facebook went on a historic run. So
Do you think? Quick question: do you think Snapchat needs some more major news or more development within within its own network before it hits another spike?
I think Snap has a very good platform. They have 150 million users. The majority of their users are between 18 and 24. So they've got a very good demographic, a demographic that everybody else wants. So I think they're in the right place at the right time.
24.
That's
not a big demographic, 18 to 24. That's like a small.
It's the demographic of the future consumers. It's the demographic of the future consumers, the future people that are going to be using apps, using phones, buying products, coming out of university, getting really good jobs, becoming our doctors, becoming our lawyers. Those are the people that are their users. You have to understand, university students, that's who they're targeting. So they're very intelligent. They're not smart. They're not dumb guys. They're two young 20-year-olds that are graduates. They're two young graduates from Stanford that created this app. I believe that they're going to be well connected, well taken care of, like I believe that Mark Zuckerberg would have been. And that was why I bet on Facebook, and I was right about Facebook. And you know what? I've been disappointed about Twitter because I don't believe Twitter has utilized themselves, and they've failed because they're too focused on their business. They're not acquiring growth. Whereas Facebook acquired WhatsApp. Google acquired Google acquired YouTube. Big companies acquire big companies, and that makes them bigger companies. And that's how they become monsters. And WhatsApp is an incredible app, and used within Facebook, it just made Facebook instantly a powerhouse, which is now going after Google. They're competing with Google. Google is the most powerful company in the world. Let's be honest. Everybody uses Google. Everybody. Every day.
Wow.
So Facebook, the user rate is like, and we have an app and we see it. We see what our user rate is, and our user rate is amazing. Yeah. It's an amazing user rate, but the best apps in the world have a user rate of about 21 minutes per user per day.
Yeah. Wow, wow, that's cool. How'd you find that out?
I do my research. I do my due diligence. I'm constantly watching and doing my research and finding out about these companies and reading their news, reading their financials, trying to figure out why is Snap going down. Are they going to go up? Are they going to go down? Should I buy more stock? Should I lower my average cost? I'm in at $25. I don't think I got in at a good price. I bought in day one because I got in and excited about the hype. It went up from
Remember when
21.
you got in?
That was the one I got in because I got excited myself. I got myself excited, which was stupid, which is I always say, don't get emotional. And then once again, it went up to $29 and I should have sold. And I remember I was up $1,500 in my account. I put in $7,000. I was at $1,500 and I looked and I said, I should sell. It was worth $8,500. And I should have sold it and I didn't. And there you go. Don't get emotional.
Oh.
Don't get emotional. Should have took the
You'll still
$1,500 to
be
run.
fine. So,
What's
you'll
that?
still be fine. Don't worry.
Oh, I know I'm fine. I'm not worried. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is
Don't-
never get emotional. As soon as you see that $1,500 profit, take it. Because look at what happens when you don't take it. It goes down
Right.
and now you're stuck. Now the money that I could be using to be making more money on other picks is stuck in that what I call dead money pick. And I got lots like that I put money into. They don't go the way I want, so I wait. But I never sell stocks
Right.
for a loss. That's not my thing. I don't like that.
Well, I don't get emotional.
I accumulate.
It's kind of funny.
I accumulate stocks. I accumulate winners. And I like to find my winners. And like I said, if they go down, I buy more. I accumulate more. And I look at it like I'm investing in a company. I invest in private companies too. I'm a private investor and I invest in private companies too. And I do IPOs. I take private companies public. If you're a private company, you want to go
Oh,
public,
nice.
you need some help, you need some advice, I can help you do that too. So these are different transactions that I do on a consistent basis that I'm familiar with. So this is not a foreign thing. So I understand what it takes for these companies in the public sector to grow. Because what happens is, if you're a public company, guys, and you are not acquiring your growth, the market makers will eat you alive. Because what happens is short traders are going to come in and they're going to eventually eat you alive. Because unless you have news that's coming out consistently or you're acquiring your growth to grow your business, no news is bad news. So when public companies go public and they've got no news and they got no plans of acquisition and they're only planning on just growing their business organically, that's not good enough. So what happens is the market makers start realizing that nothing's going on and they start shorting your stock and they start putting pressure on your stock and taking your stock down. So what companies have to do is they have to put out news, put out news, put out news. They have to acquire companies or they're going to get delisted eventually and go all the way down. Or they have to have a very robust company with lots of news and huge financials and constantly be growing. And that puts a lot of pressure on companies.
Oh, get to the floor.
That makes sense.
So
I don't get emotional.
that's why you can't get emotional in the markets. You got to take your money and run. Because when you lose,
I like that.
it is gut wrenching. When you lose,
Yeah, I
it
don't
is
like
gut
to lose.
wrenching.
I like to lose.
When I'm in a stock
Nobody likes
and
to
it's
lose.
down, it's gut wrenching. It sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world. It is not fun. I do not enjoy it at all. And believe me, I've been down lots. I'm down on stocks right now. I've also been up on stocks and I've made lots on stocks. So the key is to just not get emotional so that when you're up, you take your profit and run. Because what happens is when you don't, they usually go down and then you're stuck and then you're wishing you got out. And that's the way I feel. And that's why I'm angry at myself more than anything else, because that's twice this year I've made that mistake. Outside of that, I'm up a lot of my portfolio this year. But those two mistakes that I made that were emotional mistakes were mistakes that could have easily been avoided.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Call me first before you do anything, and I'll tell you. Don't be emotional, and I'll remind you. How's that?
Yeah, you know what? I will. Because that, honestly, I just going to make a rule. I can't buy stocks that I buy on the show. That's for sure. I can't talk.
I can't remember when you.
I cannot
the
buy
funniest
stocks
thing
that I
is,
talk
this
about
week-
on the show. I am not
Was
going
it
to buy
this week?
stocks that I talk about on the show. I can't. Because what happens is, when I talk about stocks when I buy stocks that I talk about on the show, I get emotional, and I'm not thinking anymore rationally. I'm thinking emotionally.
You end the show with, I gotta let you guys go because I got a stock to buy. I said,
Yeah.
did that just really happen?
Yeah, and then I bought it, and then it went down because I got emotional, because I didn't want the stock to go up on me, and because of it, it went down. So this is what I mean. Never be
Yeah,
emotional.
yeah.
Sit there,
Right.
watch them, date them, see their trend, see the chart, see a pattern. And when you're ready to pull the trigger, make sure you're 1,000% sure. If you're not 1,000% sure, don't pull the trigger. And that decision and that decision to buy the stock was
That's
not
good advice right there.
and that decision to buy the stock, that was purely just emotion. It wasn't, oh, let me look at what price to buy it and let me watch it and make the perfect purchase. It was stupid. It was, the stock was halted. It was halted all weekend. I was telling my buddy, it's going to go down. IPNFF went down. It's going to go down. And what happened? It went down. It went down from $1.20 all the way to $1. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll buy it at $1. It's good news, good company. But the thing I wasn't thinking about, which is stupid, maybe the market makers don't think it's worth $1. I didn't think about that. And that was dumb. I went on the hype of it all. The news, the halt was removed. What I should have done is should have been patient and should have waited and watched from the sidelines.
Okay.
Let the destruction come in, all the panicking. Because that's all it is, panicking. Everybody's panicking. It's been halted for 3-4 days.
That's true.
Stock hasn't traded. Everybody's panicking. Sell, sell, sell. Everybody's calling the broker. Sell, sell, sell. Sell, sell, sell. So everybody sells. So now it's a feeding frenzy of selling. And it becomes a vicious cycle. And these are not small people selling. It's banks. RBC,
Wow.
Royal Bank of Canada, sold millions of dollars worth of shares as soon as the market closed. So it's just like crash. And I should have waited. Should have watched. And I would have been able to sniper and get in at a really good price. Instead, I bought too soon. And I'm paying for it now. And it's not the money that's lost, because I don't believe I'm going to lose. I believe it's a good company, and I believe it's going to have more sales, and eventually it's going to go up. But it was the emotion of trying to get into something that I was going to miss out on, when I shouldn't be thinking that way. Should never think you're going to miss anything, because there's no such thing as missing anything.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
just,
what you taught us, Rich, is that it's always another day, man.
exactly. And I know this because every time I operate from that premise, I win. When I'm not emotional, I win.
Exactly.
When I take the emotion out, I win. I win. I win. And on DYA, I won. I won big, man. You know, I did good.
Wow.
So when
You
you
should've
win
done that,
big
right?
and you do good, you should be able to, feel good about it. And the thing I don't like is I got emotional, took money out, and put it into harm's way without really thinking about the decision of buying, the price, the reasoning behind the halt, the reasoning behind the price. And I was out. I already made my money and ran. I got out at 97. And then when it got halted all the way down to 81. So I actually had great execution when I look back at it. I did a good job. But I turned around the day after I did a good job and did a bad job. That's the thing that frustrates me as a trader. But I think as traders, you guys got to be able to identify your own mistakes too. That'll make you better. Because you'll be able to catch yourself before you make that mistake again. You know? The next time I go to make that stupid decision, I'm not going to make that decision. You know?
Good advice.
I'm going to
Good
smack you.
advice.
But I'll be honest with you, I have never made money buying a stock after a halt. So it was stupid. Like, I've never bought a stock after a halt. It's so dumb. You don't do that. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
scary.
guys at home, if a stock gets halted,
What? Something's wrong.
don't buy it.
Something's wrong. But Rich,
Ugh.
that's why we watch you. That's
Stupid.
why we watch your show. You teach us, so we've learned from you on to not get excited and think. And if that's not the stock that happens, there'll be another one. I learned that. So you're teaching us that. So you know that. It's just you are human. So you kind of did what you did. So
Yeah, well,
you learned from
what
it
I did
yourself.
is I've set a rule for myself. I'm not buying stocks that I talk about on my show. That's what I did. No more. I pump myself up. I get on the show and then I pump myself up, and I shouldn't be making decisions in that type of environment. It's like a relationship. It's like a relationship. When you're angry, never talk to your wife.
Yeah.
Never talk to your wife when you're angry. That's just some advice, people. Or you will become divorced.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Never talk to your wife, or if you're a
I'll take
woman
offense to
and you're
that.
angry, never talk to your husband. Just don't do it. It's bad news. So,
Bad.
you know, it's the same thing in the markets. You know, when you're doing a show talking about stocks, how can you really think logically? You're talking about the stock. You're all like thinking about the stock. You're getting excited about the stock. People are talking about the stock. People are all getting excited. You're all excited. So what do? You go and buy it like an idiot, like a fool. And that's exactly what the market makers want. They want to take your money and run. You think they don't want to take your money and run?
Yeah.
Of course they're taking your money and running. So they see you buy it, they take your money and run. Now they're like, oh, we got his money again. Now he's going to have to sit and wait and watch again. So now I'm stuck. But what I can do, because I put in $9,000. It wasn't $1,000. I put in $9,000. I shouldn't have put in $9,000. That was stupid. It was stupid to just drop $9,000 like that. That's what I was saying. So it's like dumb. You know what I mean? It's dumb. Stupid shit that you do. But it's like you learn from it and you move on. I already set my sell order. I put my sell order up for $1.25 in the next 30 days. And I forget about it. And that's how I deal with it. I don't care.
Okay.
I honestly don't care.
Stop beating yourself up right now.
No, I'm not beating myself up. I'm trying to analyze my trading patterns, my trading strategy, and make sure that you guys learn from my own mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes that I'm making. It's the same thing I teach my kids. You know, I've made these mistakes, hopefully, so you don't have to. I don't want you to do the same things that I've done and say, oh, I want to touch the stove. Daddy said it's hot, but I'm going to touch it anyways and burn my hand. And I'm going to say, well, do you want to have a scar on your hand the rest of your life? So that's why you should listen to me. And you know what the kids do? They go and touch it anyways. So it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't you know what I mean? So I don't want you guys to do that. You know, I do this and I show you guys my mistakes, and I want to show you my mistakes live for the whole world to see, because these are mistakes that everybody makes.
Right. But Rich, that's what I'm telling you. When I watch you show every day, you taught me so much. Look, I mean, it's awesome, but you do teach us, so that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. Like Blue Guru, Dennis, he's talking about the fact that he would rather lose a little bit than lose a lot. And I agree with that. There's a lot of people that would rather take a stop loss, take a 10% stop loss. And if you guys want to play that way and trade that way, you're totally welcome to. I personally, I do not look at stocks like that. To me, stocks are fantasy players. And I buy them because I think they can trend. I think they can be hot at some point. I think there's something about them that I like. So once I buy that stock, I'm committed to it. I'm in. I've committed myself. So I don't sell the stock. It's like giving up on my fantasy football players. I don't do that either. I hold on to my players because every time I've done that, they eventually turn around, and then it makes me feel like shit. And I hate that feeling. Everybody that's played fantasy that's dropped a player and then they go off, that is the worst feeling in the world. Okay? It's the same thing with stocks. I have dropped a lot of stocks and then seen them go up thousands of %, and then it just kills me. And it was like, oh, I had something inside of my gut that told me to hold on to this thing. And then I didn't. And then it went up. So it's like you got to learn to trust your gut, and you got to learn to trust the big mo. And the big mo in your gut. Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Your gut and the big mo is always right. And if your gut is telling you something is good, there might be something good about it. And that stock could make you rich. And one stock has made people rich before. So why can't it happen for you? It could. It has happened for me where I've made 6 figures on a stock. And I'll tell you, on $3,000. So when you make like $100,000 on $3,000, it's like, oh, okay, I can solve a few bills. I can pay a few bills. You know? So for me right now, that's the thing is, you know, we're looking for that next stock that's going to run 1,000%. And my gut is telling me it's going to be a medical marijuana stock.
Okay, I agree with that, 100%.
So that's why I'm looking. That's why I'm looking at medical marijuana stocks.
Anything you find, or are you gonna wait till the show?
Well, I mean, like look at stocks like CDII. I think CDII could be a monster. Stocks like HEMP, hemp. I think hemp could be a monster. Take a look at MMEX. MMEX could be a monster. Look at USRM. USRM could be a monster. These are all the monsters that are already up thousands of %. And if we had bought them even a month ago, we would have been up thousands of %. So BITCF. Let's recap. BITCF is up thousands of %. USRM is up thousands of %. CDII is up thousands of %. All of these companies, HEMP, all of these companies have come up thousands of %. ERBB. Some of these companies are still down and could still come up more. And we're going to continue to watch them. We're going to watch them like hawks. And if stocks are moving, we want to be able to benefit from it. That's the name of the game here. We want to find 10 baggers. It's easier for a stock to go from 001 to a penny than it is for it to go from a penny to 10 cents. And then it is
repeat that one more time.
It's easier for a stock to go from 001 to 001 than it is for it to go from 001 to a penny, and then it is for it to go from a penny to 10 cents, than it is for it to go from 10 cents to $1. So understand, guys, there's an underworld. The underworld starts at a penny. Then it goes to 001. If you can get in at 001 and it goes to a penny, you make 10 times your money. That's right. 10 times your money. If you get a stock from 001 to a penny, you make 10 times your money. If you get a stock from a penny to 10 cents, you make, once again, 10 times your money. If you get a stock that goes from 10 cents to $1, you make, once again, 10 times your money. Okay? So stocks like USRM, stocks like GIGL, stocks like BITCF, those stocks are up thousands of %. Thousands. GIGL, BITCF, USRM. These are all stocks that are up thousands of %.
Yeah. You want to hear something that's really sick? I did some research on that company, USRM. And I didn't even buy it myself. So, okay, I'm beating myself up a little bit for that. I didn't even get it. Dumb.
Well, we talked about it, Sherry. We were talking about USRM when it was at 4 cents.
I know.
And where is it now? Do you guys know where it's at now?
I don't look at it anymore. I can't. I refuse. But can somebody pull it up? I'll pull it up.
The 12 cents.
Now I have to look.
It's at 12 cents. So USRM is at 12 cents. So
3 times the money, huh?
You know, like when we talked about it, it was at 4 cents. That would have been 3 times your money, Sherry. So if you put in $1,000, your 1,000 would have been worth 3,000. You would have made $2,000. You would have made 200% on your money. So
okay, so I messed up big time.
No, you didn't mess up. We never know. We don't have a crystal ball. You didn't mess up. We don't know where the stocks are going to go. We don't have a crystal ball. None of us have a crystal ball. We don't know where the stocks are going to go. Don't look at it like you messed up because nobody knows where they're going to go, okay? The lower the stock price is, the more volatility. Meaning, the more likelihood it could go all the way up or all the way down. The more risky and the more volatility. Stocks that are in the triple zeros, which is like the underworld, anything under a penny to 001 is the underworld. And then 001 to 1001 is the underworld. And when you get to 1001, you're on life support. Because that's the bottom. That is the bottom of the stock market. That is the bottom.
I don't want to go there.
So what do you think, what kind of company do you think is at the bottom? What kind of company? Shady. Okay, so it comes to mind shady. But why did they get to the bottom? Do you want to know why companies get to the bottom?
No money.
No money?
They don't have any money in their company. They don't have volume in their company.
They don't have a business. Most of them don't even have a business. So
Fake.
they're fake companies.
So you're
So
buying.
what they're doing is they're selling stock, which is driving their price all the way down to the bottom. They're selling stock. It's true, guys. Understand. They're printing presses. Public companies, I'm going to say it again, is a poor man's legitimate expression to operate and own their own bank. So do you think these companies don't print a bunch of shares and then give them to their buddies? Hey, Tony, here's some. Hey, Sherry, here's some. Everybody, here's some. Here's some paper. It's printed, guys. It's true. It's printed.
Oh my God.
So once I realized that everything we've ever thought we were doing in life had no meaning, life is empty and meaningless because we're chasing printed paper, it's like I might as well go chop down my own tree because that's what it is. It's paper, guys.
So easy. Wow. That's really easy.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people counterfeit. The counterfeit is a big thing because it's paper. So
Wow.
what do you think stocks are?
Is it raining?
It's paper.
Is it raining? I see what you're doing over there. Is it raining? You're just taking your hand and you're.
They're printing
It's raining
paper.
out there.
That's the sign of printing paper.
Wow.
That paper is valuable. Now, if that stock is at $1 and you sell 1 million shares of paper that you printed to your buddies, you just raised $1 million. So how can you work a 9-to-5 job when you know there's people out there that are just printing paper?
Wow.
It's true.
Unbelievable.
That's what they do. And what do you think the Federal Reserve Bank does? They print paper. So if you print paper, can't you just give some to your friends and family? You print it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think these public companies do, guys? You don't think that they give some of that paper to their friends and their family?
Of course.
And why do you think they're all the way in the underworld? And why do you think I call it the underworld? Nobody else calls it the underworld, but I'll call it the
The
underworld.
word. Yeah. It's down.
Why do you think I call it the underworld? Because I know the underworld. I've been in the underworld. I've lived in the underworld. So I know what type of people are in the underworld, and they're not the people you want to be dealing with. So what do you think the medical marijuana companies have done? Do you think the medical marijuana companies are smart, or you think they're dumb?
No. I think they're very smart.
That's right. So what they do is they go into these little medical marijuana companies and they say, hey, listen, Mr. CEO, I've been watching your stock, okay? It's at 0001. You're a piece of shit. So since you're a piece of shit, why don't we just call you what you are, a piece of shit? So you go sit over here, take some shares, Mr. CEO. You're no longer the CEO. Good heavens. And then they put their own CEO in. And they say, okay, guys, we're a marijuana company now. Let's go green. And then all of a sudden, the stock starts to trade. Press release. We're a marijuana stock, people. And the stock starts to trade. And what do you think's happening when the stock is trading? Remember, it's printed paper. You think they're not making a lot of money? That stock's trading every day. They just put out news. Oh, we're a marijuana company now. We're a marijuana company now. So even at 0001, they're still making money. Believe it or not. 100 million shares, okay, at 0001 is 10 grand. It's a lot of money. So if you're trading 1 billion shares a day at 0001, you're still raising $100,000 a day. So if you see companies trading at 0001 by 0002, they're pretty much criminals.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Of course not. That's why I call it what it is. It's the underworld.
Underworld. You've been there. Wow. I'm glad you're not there anymore.
Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt. Trust me. I have a lot of stocks that have gone into the underworld. And unfortunately, stocks, when you buy penny stocks, they go into the underworld. And then that's when I started to learn about this world and what kind of people were in it and what kind of stuff was going on. Now, a lot of these companies that are coming from the underworld and they're going up into the pennies, like CDII, that just recently has gone up, MMEX, which has recently just come up, BITCF,
Yeah.
which has just recently come up, USRM, which has just recently come up, GIGL, which has just recently come up. What they are is they're smart guys. They have real businesses. They go and say, hey guys, you're a piece of shit. Go sit on the sideline. We're going to take over your company, and we're going to take you from 001, the underworld, because they can take over the company for nothing. Because the company's worth nothing at that point, pretty much. So they go, they take over the company for nothing, and then they put in a real business, give these guys some shares, and say, hey, enjoy the ride, and one day when we're worth $5, you've got 20 million shares. Sayonara, brother.
Wow.
And those guys got 20 million shares, and they hold their shares, or they can sell them after a year. And that's how it works. And then these guys take over the company, and then they start putting out their news, and they start growing their marijuana, and they start finding a way to exist in the medical marijuana space. Now, Canadian companies that are in Canada that are getting real licenses, that are really licensed, they have the green light from the government. But U.S. companies don't have the green light, most of them. So the problem is they're operating in this gray area. So this is why I've been saying focus on the Fab 6, because they're all licensed producers from the Government of Health Canada. So they already have the licenses to go huge. Whereas a lot of the U.S. companies, not to say they will not get the license, I hope they do get the license, but a lot of them don't have licenses. So we don't really know what's going on, and you have to wonder if some of these companies are operating in the gray area and nobody even knows.
Yeah. But also, I think that, it's going to be more, it's not just the growing and selling of it, and it's more of the medical marijuana meeting the for health, for medical marijuana, and getting those.
Yeah, because they have to. It's because they have to. But it doesn't mean that they want to get those licenses. They want to get growing licenses. They want the growing licenses. But what I'm saying is people want those licenses because they're so valuable. There's so much money to be made.
Yeah.
So people want those licenses. So what they're doing is they're going to go and get into breathalyzer research or medical marijuana research or do some other thing while they're trying to get their licenses. That's what's happening right now. While people are trying to get licensed and they're waiting for things to happen and waiting for things to get ironed out in America specifically, and even in Canada, while they're waiting for their licenses, they're finding other ways to exist in the marketplace. They have to.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I was reading something on, I think it was in Israel, that they finally realized that it's wonderful because it's helping people. It's not just to get high. It's not just recreational. That's what they were looking at it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is. It's helping people with Alzheimer's. It's helping people with seizures. Yeah. It's helping people with mental illness. It's helping people with pain.
Cataracts.
Stress, pain, everything. Like, it's helping everybody. 50% of all Canadians and Americans want it. 50%. That's one out of every two people you walk by wants it. So why not just give them what they want? I mean, if somebody wants to buy cigarettes, I mean, I smoked cigarettes for many years, and I quit when I was 25, and it was one of the best things I ever did, and I think cigarettes are so disgusting, but if you want to smoke cigarettes, go right ahead. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't care if you want to kill yourself. That's what it is.
I mean,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. By saying that.
But it is what it is, right? If you want to go and kill yourself, I don't care about it. But I do care about it because in Canada, it affects our healthcare. Because everybody that's smoking cigarettes, getting lung cancer, getting lung disease, is being taken care of by the system. All that money is being poured in to help those people. So, I think that, people that smoke and do drugs and do different things, they should be in a different bracket. And that's what insurance covers. Insurance covers those types of things. Right? If you're insured, and you smoke cigarettes, you're going to pay more insurance. It's the way it goes.
Yes.
So as long as it's regulated, that's fine. And that's what I think the system should do. See, okay, you want health care, you're a smoker, you pay more.
No, they can't ask that anymore, love.
They should.
They cannot ask that anymore.
They should.
But they can.
But they should.
It's
I think they
can't
should.
ask it because
But I think they
it's,
should. But I think they should.
privacy. I don't
Because if you're going to expect everybody to pay for your healthcare through their taxes, then you should be real with what you're doing.
I
Which most
agree,
people aren't.
But I couldn't believe it. You said
Well, in
that.
Canada, you can't get life insurance unless, you do testing. You have to qualify
Right.
for life insurance. You got to be able to show that you're not a smoker. You got to be able to show you're not doing drugs. You got to be able to show certain things, to qualify.
Right.
Or else you pay a higher premium. Or if you try to say
Right.
you aren't doing those things and then eventually you die and they find out you were, you won't get your insurance. So you're paying for all those years for nothing anyways.
Yeah.
So insurance companies, that's a whole nother story. Insurance companies, if you want to talk about scams. I mean,
Ugh.
car insurance. We're going to pay you, and if nothing ever happens, you just take our money. That's what car insurance is.
Actually,
And then if you get in an accident, we're going to increase your we're going to increase your premiums. That's the biggest scam ever.
Yeah.
Life insurance, we're going to pay you a huge amount of money if you die. But if you don't die, you just pay us forever. Everyone's going to die, so it makes a lot of sense. But then, there's all this, fine print. And, if this happens, you don't get this. And if this happens, you don't get this. And I've heard horror stories where people are expecting life insurance and then the insurance company just finds any excuse possible not to pay them.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. They're pretty awful.
It's
They're
disgusting.
Pretty,
They're awful.
Low, man.
They're awful. And I'm talking about
There
people
is-
that had
there is
cancer,
a
people that had
underworld
cancer, like
where they are.
life-threatening diseases. And these insurance companies, these multi-trillion-dollar insurance companies, do everything they can not to pay people. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
I know.
Oh, there was this clause, and we found this, but it was this, and you're cured now. You're cured now. They tell people you're cured now. You don't have cancer anymore. Like, how mind-boggling is that?
It is. It's
They'll say to you, you're cured.
horrible.
If it comes back, call us again. Like, that is sick. It's like,
Yeah.
what? You know what I mean? Like, these families are decimated, spending their life savings trying to help each other, support each other in times of need. And then insurance companies find loopholes and say, oh, you're cured. As far as we're concerned, you're cured. You don't need any money anymore. But you're drowning in thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. It's sick. It's mentally just
And it's so
sick.
It is so expensive. Everything is expensive. So
Gas prices here are $1.40 a liter. It's unheard of. I don't know what you guys are doing conversions there, but it's probably way more than what you guys are paying. Like, it's crazy expensive here. Like, if to fill a normal
220, 230 a gallon.
Here is $1.40 per liter.
Good Lord.
How many liters go in a gallon?
I don't know, and I can't check.
If you do the conversion, I'll tell you right now, we're paying a lot more. It's way more than what you guys are paying. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Yeah.
To fill up like a normal truck is well over $100.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like well over $100 to fill up a truck. Fill up a normal car is like
Wow.
$60, $70 on regular.
3.78.
Yeah, so think about that.
What's up?
3.78.
3.78. So we can fit 3.7, almost 4 liters in a gallon, and we're paying $1.40 a liter, bro.
Wow.
Do the metrics. That's like $6 a gallon, bro.
That's
It's
More-
like,
a little
where do you
more,
wanna
yeah.
go? You
Think
make
about it. It's insane. It's like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And we're in
I didn't
Vancouver.
know gas was that expensive in Canada.
It's
I thought it would be
crazy.
cheaper.
It's crazy, bro. It's
Canada is
Vancouver is the
expensive
highest in Canada. We're the highest in the country. It's mind-boggling. And all the gas comes from Alberta, which is right next door.
Right. I don't understand that.
It's stupid.
It's weird, man.
because our housing is so expensive. Everybody's so rich here in Vancouver, so they just tax us.
Yeah. It's like they don't even care. It doesn't even bother them.
Just tax us.
They just go with the flow. But you know what? I think it's sad, with the insurance, especially because
375.
If
Yeah.
you don't have the money,
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
you pay for stuff.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. On the West Coast, Sherry, what are you paying for gas in the West Coast there?
We're at $3 per gallon, but it was all the way down to $2.50. It was amazing. It was like I'm spending.
You said 250 is amazing? I better be more appreciative, huh?
That's what I'm saying, bro. You're on the East Coast. On the West Coast here, man, we get squeezed tight, man. Tight.
Wow.
It's like, oh, you guys on the West Coast are making money. You got these big houses. We got Hollywood. In Vancouver here, they call it Hollywood North. So they squeeze you. They charge you more for food. They charge you more for gas. They charge you more for houses.
Yeah.
They charge you more for everything. Clothing. Everything. It's just a little bit more here, a little bit more there. Because what happens is the cost of living is more. So all the businesses have to charge more because it costs them more to operate. So it's like inflation. That's inflation. And it just drives the prices up, drives the prices up. The cost of food out here in Vancouver is astronomical. Astronomical. If you came here shopping, honestly, Tony, you would be blown away, bro. You get 4 bags of groceries for $100.
Okay. And what? Do you have any meat in there?
Oh, the meat is like, you get one little thing of meat for $10, right? 4 pieces of chicken breast for $10. 4 tiny pieces of chicken breast for $10. How much do you pay for 4 little pieces of chicken breast?
You know what? I go to the market. I walk out with spend $100, no problem. No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like $100 is nothing now. Like if I'm shopping for my family and I'm doing like a barbecue, honestly, it's a minimum of $250 to $400. I'm not kidding.
You guys,
If I'm doing a barbecue, it's at least $250 to $400. If you're buying meat, it's expensive. Oh yeah, it's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Toronto is so much cheaper than Vancouver. Like what I would pay for $100 in groceries here, in Toronto, I would pay probably $70. Honestly, you put at least another $30 premium. At least.
That's insane.
Oh, it's nuts, man. I go back to Toronto. The gas is 30% less. Food is 30% less. Cost of living is 30% less. The housing now is starting to explode in Toronto. But Vancouver, the housing is crazy. Toronto's catching up now because they had to. They had to. Oh, there's Angel. Angel, my man. Angel, what's up, man?
What you talking about, Willis? I'm paying $3.35 a gallon where I'm at, and $100 ain't getting you a half a bag of groceries.
That's crazy, man. Like, what is going on in this world where they're trying to squeeze all of us? We can't even afford to pay for groceries. We can't afford to put gas in our car. What is going on in this world? And these rich are printing it. Of course, they don't care. They print it.
3 oil refineries, bro. 3 oil refineries 10 miles away, and I'm paying an average of $3.35 to $3.75 a gallon. Now explain that. That's just nuts.
I just think it's mind-boggling. I don't know how people with this economy. I believe that 99% of people are struggling, and I believe that it is only the 1%, the elite, the super rich, that is actually not thinking about money.
They just came out with the actual numbers on that. 80% of Americans are in over 50,000 debt and live paycheck to paycheck. 80%.
And that 50,000 in debt, I'll tell you right now, that does not include their car. That does not include their mortgage. Because in Canada, they came up with the same statistic and they said it was 35 grand. And then it went up to like 38 grand. And I thought about it, I'm like, that number's bullshit. Because if you count people's cars, you count people's credit cards, you count their lines of credit, their home equity lines, you start counting all of that shit everybody's got, believe me, that number's way higher. If you start counting people's mortgages, the average person is going to... A mortgage, people... I was a mortgage broker, okay? A mortgage is the worst investment in the world. The worst. When you buy a mortgage, you're paying off your house 4 times by the time you pay off your house.
What?
Yeah. What? Everybody does these 25-year mortgage. Okay, well, have you ever done the math? 30, 40, 50, 100-year mortgage.
Yes,
so you're never going to pay it off.
They make double the money.
So what is it? You're renting the house from the bank, people. You don't own that freaking house.
It's not your
You are
money.
renting the house from the bank. When you have a mortgage, it is the bank's house. You are renting the house from the bank. And at any point in time, they're going to take it away from you.
Hey, it's a write-off. That's like our only write-off these days.
Oh, no. Hey, you miss 1 or 2 months, and let's say you're 6 months for paying it off. They send, here come the bankers, here come the thug squad, and guess what? They just took your house, and you ain't getting none of that back.
Oh, they did that to millions. They did that to millions of Americans. They did that to millions of Americans in the last recession. Millions of Americans. I remember.
2008, 2009.
Oh yeah, the housing crisis was serious. I had a guy that came in. I was running a marketing company in 2007. A guy came into my office. He used to be a mortgage advisor in Florida. He's like, man, I had 100 houses. He goes, I lost them all. He goes, I lost everything. He goes, as soon as the market turned, I couldn't afford it. People were walking away. They couldn't pay the rent. All my tenants, everything was rented, right? All his tenants walked away. Nobody could pay it. He didn't have time. He was scrambling, trying to get people in there. He couldn't find good tenants. People were bouncing checks. So he just got in over his head. 100 properties.
Okay.
Imagine. And he went from being a multi-millionaire to going door to door, selling, trying to do fundraising door to door in Canada. He had to leave the country. This guy had a wife. He had kids. This guy was a millionaire. He went from being a millionaire to being bankrupt. He went bankrupt.
Okay, so.
Sad. And you know how many people have that story? It's crazy. What's that?
Right. Okay, so here's this. So I'm in the industry, so I see it. I know it. I've seen it. I went through it. Unbelievable. People were buying houses. They were putting no money down and leaving with 10 grand. It was like, what? You guys, it was. I knew it was going to come down really bad, and it did. And then you know what people would do? They would buy the house, and they would get tenants in there. They would collect money from the tenants and never pay the mortgage. So it was ugly.
A double scam.
It's just like scam within the scam, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's like so.
That's why they're so strict now.
Crazy, and you know what? They should be strict. In Canada, they're strict, and the Canadian economy did not collapse, thank God, and hopefully it never does. And being a homeowner and a property manager, and I have multiple rental properties. There's a lot of risk involved when you're a homeowner. There's a lot of risk involved when you're a landlord. But if you can buy a house and you can get a mortgage and you can get it rented and have someone paying your mortgage, that will be a good investment for you. And I've been able to do that, and it's been able to be very successful for me. And that's created a lot of wealth for me. So I really love real estate if it's done right. If you can get a good mortgage at a good rate, locked in at a good rate, and you can have a good tenant and have a good relationship with your tenant, and the tenant's paying, it's long term, and that tenant is building you equity, and that mortgage is getting paid by your tenant, that is a great situation.
Yes, that's awesome. That's the life.
That is the good situation. But you can't always have that sometimes.
They say that real estate is the way to go. Not stocks, real estate.
Well, I think stocks and real estate is a great combination, because when the market might be down in stocks, the market might be up in real estate. And when the market might be down in real estate, the market might be up in stocks. The other thing I like about stocks is it's fast. It's quick. Real estate is not really quick. You can be quick if you get to that level, but most people very rarely get to that level. Most people, with real estate, they're going to have a couple properties here and there. Very few people are moving real estate quickly. But if you're into stocks, you can move it quickly. It's instant gratification. I can make money in a day, I can make money in a week, I can make money in a month, and I can make it quick. Whereas with real estate, it's typically more of a long-term investment for most people, typically a 5 to 10 year plan, or at least a 1 to 3 year plan if you just want to do a quick flip, like a reno flip. That's typically at least a 6 to 12 months.
You cannot find a piece of property out here in LA to flip. You won't. There's just nothing. It's nothing.
You should come to Canada. Canada's just booming for that. Booming.
I have clients that are looking for that. I wish I could.
Well, the market there's just too high. The market there's just too high.
It's crazy.
And when you get it like that, where it's California or New York, you're just so high. It's like you're in rarefied air. Very few people can even afford to live there.
Well, I have to say that here you really do have to have two people having two incomes to get a house because the interest rates are awesome. I mean, it was really low for a long time. They just had an interest rate, obviously. They just raised the interest rate. But that sure is better than 7, 8, 9, 10%. Are you kidding me? It's 4.25 now. So that's...
Well, I expect that the rates will continue to increase.
Of course, but that's what they're doing now. But that's what I'm saying is like if they kept it low because of how bad the economy is.
They had to.
And
they had to. And now the economy, they're saying, is turning around, which is not even close. I mean, you look at the job market here in Vancouver, it just sucks. It's just pathetic. Yeah. There's no jobs. I don't know how it is for you guys, but there's no jobs here.
No.
So I don't know what jobs are being created, but the jobs that I see are all garbage, door-to-door sales jobs. So unless you want to actually get a real job, I mean, it's rough. It's tough, man. It's tough.
Job. I love that.
It's tough. I mean,
job.
Yeah, you want to get a 9-to-5 real job, like slaving away with some boss that you hate or work at some crappy job. I mean, no.
Right.
So I'd much rather just buy stocks and do the research and look for winners. I know I can make enough money every month that just by buying and selling stocks, I can make enough money every month that I can make a lot more than most people would in a 9-to-5.
Well, can I say something? This is my goal, is to get the fuck out of what I'm doing. That's for sure. And this is why I found you. My love, you are going to help me, which you already did, and you are, get the fuck out of what I'm doing, because I am so unhappy, and I'm tired of being unhappy. And it's stupid.
Well, I think too many of us are unhappy, and I think too many of us live unhappy, and too many of us live with stress, and too many of us live with bills. And I want to do something different. I want to change the world. I want to make a difference, and I think the way we make a difference is we all join Rich TV Live. We build the largest, most powerful marketing company on the planet that everybody needs to come on and talk about their product, talk about their company, talk about their business, and they need to pay us, and they need to be a part of it. They're going to pay us. And we grow and we become a powerhouse. And what happens is we eventually go public, and everybody that's a part of it, all of you guys are all going to be compensated handsomely. That's the plan. That's the vision. That's the vision. And the more you're a part of it, the more shares you're going to get. It's simple. And we're going to print it. Don't kid yourselves. We're going to print it. Because if they're printing it,
we know how to print it.
If they're printing it, if the elite are printing it, guess what, guys? We're going to print it. And guys, trust me when I tell you, I already print it. So.
You print it? You print already?
Of course I print it.
Wow.
I got a printer. Wow. I got a printer. We all got printers.
I bet you got a printer.
We all got printers. We all got printers.
I can't get my... Okay. Well, I want to see how you print it then, love.
It's called creating free trading shares. I know how to create free trading shares. Okay. It's called printing paper.
No, how cool.
Yeah. I got millions and millions and millions of shares here at my house right now.
Wow.
Millions. And every week, new companies are hiring Rich TV Live and giving millions and millions of shares to get on the show. So that's what I mean. Like,
wow.
I print it. I know how to print it. I know how to teach companies to print it. I own my own public company. So I know how to print it.
Wow.
But right now, I don't want the day-to-day hassles of running a public company. I'd rather focus on spending time with you people and building a business. And then when we're ready, we'll have a public company. And we'll take it public. And we'll create a lot of shares. And all of you guys that are a part of it, you guys are all going to get shares in the company. That's the vision.
Can I have your mom's phone number, please? I want to tell her that thank you for your son.
my mom doesn't even know I got an app. My mom doesn't even know I'm on YouTube. My mom be like, "You got an app? What's an app?" My mom's like, "You're on YouTube? What's YouTube?" I'm serious. My mom doesn't even.
You and that internet. She think it's just like somebody within the computer or the laptop that's just there telling me all this false information. You and that internet thing
We are technology. We are modern technology. We are creating technology. We are creating trends. We are revolutionary. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you that.
Real quick. Let's talk about some hot picks before we end the show. We've been going for like 2 hours here.
It's
let's
crazy.
Talk about what people focus on. And we've been talking about BLTO when we first started the show. For everybody that's tuning in a little bit late, we talked about BLTO. Rich, what's some other ones you think we should keep on our radar?
BLTO, USRM, BITCF, GIGL, CDII, MMEX. All of these stocks have been on fire, guys. I'm going to be watching all of them. So what's being promoted tomorrow is BLTO being promoted hard.
And where's BLTO right now?
Like that word.
They're at $1.78. And
Okay,
another stock being promoted that's in the underworld, I believe, is SHOM. 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 I haven't taken any looks at anything else yet, but based on what I had seen before the show tonight, those are the stocks that I'm watching. Those are the stocks that are on my radar. Those are the stocks that have been on fire. Those are the stocks that have been moving. Now, obviously, I'm going to be watching the Fab Six. ACBFF, APHQF, SPRWF, TWMJF, PRMCF, and OGRMF, the Fab Six. Because on Wednesday, HMMJ is launching the first medical marijuana ETF of its kind in history, is launching on the Toronto Stock Exchange. HMMJ.
Sherry, you said that it's not on TD. We can't go to TD and get that?
I called them, but I don't want to. You know what happened to me with that BIT? I went ballistic. BITCF. They had it, but they weren't letting it go. So I don't want to get in that situation at all. So then I called on Friday, and the guy said, "No, I don't see that we have that you're able to buy it because it's in Toronto." So I looked up some companies.
It doesn't even make sense. It's a U.S. listing. What is your broker's an idiot? What, that doesn't even make any sense. Your broker's an idiot. Call him that. Say, listen, broker, you are a fucking idiot. Okay?
Okay.
This is a U.S. listing. What do you mean the company's in Toronto? Who gives a shit where they are? It is BITCF. It's a U.S. listing. They're located...
We're not talking about that one.
You're talking about HMMJ.
Yeah, man.
You meant to say.
Oh, HMMJ. I thought you meant BITCF. HMMJ. HMMJ is a Canadian company. It will be listed on the TSX. But
you're a fucking idiot.
Well, hey, I'm telling you guys need to learn to talk to your brokers. Because a lot of brokers are idiots. I yell at my brokers if I talk to my brokers. I yell at them sometimes.
I do it myself. They're there to help, but if you're not talking to somebody,
Sometimes you gotta yell at your brokers. I'm telling you guys. You do not be nice to brokers, man. You gotta.
I'm not nice to them.
Sometimes you gotta yell at your brokers because their brokers are shitty executors. Sometimes they get shitty execution, and you gotta make sure you get the stock. Sometimes you gotta get the stock at the best, highest price, and sometimes they're gonna give you bad execution. So you gotta make sure you are very clear with your execution. That's why I always like to give limit order. Sell 1 million shares at a limit order of $2. Make it very clear. Sell. Hit the bid. Okay. You know what I mean? You got to tell these guys. Trust me. I've been in the industry for a long time. I know how the game works. You got to talk to your broker. You got to tell them exactly what's up. And you got to be stern with them. Otherwise, they'll go on their coffee break and they get to it when they want to get to it. And then that stock might go down.
But you're doing my trades online. I have nothing to do with the stockbrokers.
Okay, so you're doing your trades online, but some people don't do their trades online. Some people like to talk to a broker.
I'm sorry. Well, you were talking to me.
I couldn't imagine doing trades that way.
Sometimes I talk to a broker.
That's not real time, is it?
It's not, but sometimes I do trades with a broker because let's say, for example, I want to sell 5 stocks. I'm going to call up the broker in real time and say, okay, I want to sell these 5 stocks. You ready? And I literally get them ready. And I do the trades in real time. And I'll sell 5 stocks. Boom, boom, boom. One all at a time. One after another. And I'll be like, okay, I want to sell this stock at this price. I want to sell this stock at this price. I want to sell this stock at this price. I want to sell this stock at this price. I want to sell this stock at this price. And I want to buy this stock at this price and this stock at this price. And they'll do it. Boom, 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 done. Sometimes that's better than you doing it yourself. Do you understand why?
So, okay.
Do you want to know why?
Yes. And
Because of human error.
why?
Human error.
Because you got the human error of even trying to put your order in. Things are happening at that time.
That's correct.
And you can't not necessarily lock yourself until you hit that last final button, right?
Exactly. So sometimes I like to be watching it. I'll be watching it when I'm telling them. And I'm changing my order. I'm like, okay, change it to 197. Change it to 198. Change it to 199. Because if it's going higher, I'm selling it higher. I'm like, have you sold it yet? He's like, no. Okay, change it to 198 now.
Wow.
And I'm changing my order with the guy on the phone. Oh yeah, I'm no joke, man, with that shit. That's money, man. Each penny, it's money.
That's what I'm scared
You're
of.
playing with thousands of dollars.
Well,
Each penny it goes up, you're making an extra $100, $200, $300. I'm watching like a hawk. Sometimes I want that guy to press the button for me so I can watch it. It's important,
So,
you know.
so if I call, I should call tomorrow then. I guess I'll call tomorrow again.
Sometimes it's good to
And
call.
find out if-
I'll tell you, sometimes it's good to call. I call sometimes. I'm 50-50, guys. You know? Sometimes I call. Sometimes I like to call. I do. You know?
I've never called. I didn't even think of that.
You should try. You should try. And talk to the broker.
Well,
Talk to the broker. Start getting in relationships with talking to brokers because they tell you things. You'd be surprised. Oh, yeah, the stock's been hot. Everyone's been calling today. They're like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
It's nice to hear that. You know what I mean? You know, oh, yeah, it's the hot. Oh, you know this symbol? Oh, yeah, I know that symbol. Or if you tell him a symbol, he doesn't know that symbol, that's not a good sign.
okay.
Think about it.
So
It means people are not
tomorrow-
buying it.
That
People
makes
are not
sense.
selling it.
That,
You know what I
that
mean?
made a lot of sense.
Yeah, but if you call up that symbol and he's like, oh, yeah, you know, right away, he's like, oh, yeah, DYA. Everybody's buying DYA today. You know? I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, he's telling me something sometimes. He's giving me a little bit of inside information.
Okay.
Any
So,
little bit I
here's
can
the
get,
question.
man. When you're a veteran like me, I'm a grizzly vet, guys. I ain't no rookie at this shit. Trust me, man. I'm a grizzly vet. I've been around. I know all the tricks. I know all the tools. I got grease. You know, I have elbow grease, man. Like I'm serious. I've been training for a long time, and every little bit helps, man. It's like little things go a long way, and you'd be surprised. Brokers tell you things. Brokers tell you things. You know, they tell you, yeah, you know, a lot of people are buying Snap, or yeah, a lot of people are excited about this new IPO, or yeah, a lot of people are excited about this new medical marijuana IPO. You know, that kind of tells you, okay, maybe I should buy some. People are lining up to buy it.
Well,
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Well, this is the big question. If I put in my order for VITCF night, what time do I get it at real time?
just be careful with that, because if you're going to put your order in at night and you're going to put a market order, you have no idea what price it's going to open up at. That's extremely dangerous trading. That's like suicide. If you're going to put up an order overnight, make sure you do a limit order.
Right.
Every time.
Well, it's open. It closed at 19.
Okay, so what is going to be your order at? Like, what price do you want to buy it at?
20 cents.
You want to buy it at 20?
Yeah, I figure I should go up a little.
Why?
So she can get in.
I don't think it's going to go down.
But how do
Like,
you
you
know
get in,
that?
wanna
See,
make sure
what
I'm
I'm
in,
saying
I
is you're guessing. How do you know it's not
What,
going to go down?
what Sherry, I believe what Sherry trying to say is she'll rather pay an extra penny to make sure she gets in versus not getting in at all.
No, but
Am I right, Sherry?
what makes you think it's not going to go down? It was at 17 cents on Friday. What makes you think it won't go back there? It's been
It
consistent.
closed at 18 something.
18 and a half.
It was closed higher.
It closed at
Yeah,
18 and a
almost
half.
19.
Yeah, but it went down as low as 17. So why do you want to buy at 20? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so what time do I have to get my ass up to get the time?
I personally would be sitting at BITCF at around 16 cents. I wouldn't buy it for higher than that.
Okay, what if it doesn't go to 16 cents? I am bummed.
Then slowly walk up your bid to 17. Why buy it for 20?
You know,
I've been seeing it hit 16 every week. Every week I see it hit 16. So why not just sit there at 16?
what do you think? Okay.
Pick it up at 16.
Okay.
Because if you buy it at 16,
I'll call them.
you can turn around and sell it at 20. Now you're making 20% right there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Buying low is
Yeah,
the
I
key
totally
here.
get it.
It's like, Okay, when you buy a house, do you go in and pay full price or do you go in and negotiate? Sherry?
I go negotiate, but it's always overpriced, so you can't go there with me.
Okay, so the market's super hot, so it's not really a good example. But
It's
let's
not a
just
good-
say
yeah,
let's just say it wasn't a super hot market and it was a normal market where, you know, people
Right,
put up an order.
negotiate.
Yeah, you negotiate. So guess what? Buying
Yeah.
stocks, it's like a negotiation. When you put your bid up, okay? I'm going to put this up, okay? Tony, I'm just going to show level 2 here. When you put a bid up here, okay? And you go to Investors Hub. You pull up Investors Hub, you go to level 2, you type in BITCF.
Wall Street.
BITCF, level 2. Okay, BITCF. So you put BITCF level 2 up, and then you see it's at 1889. So you're telling me you want to go to 20 cents. It was down 5% on Friday, traded only 500,000 shares, and it was at 1889, and you're telling me you want to buy it at 20. That doesn't make any sense, Sherry.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Look
You're
at the
right.
chart.
I will
Look at the
call.
chart. I want you to buy it as low as possible. I don't want you chasing stocks. This is about buying stocks low, okay? And it's about selling them higher. So if you know that they've traded higher than 18 cents, they've been as high as 19, they've been as high as 20. Okay, so 20 cents might not be a bad price. But is it a good price right now, considering the bid is at 18.5 by 18? The bid right now is 1885, and the offer is at 18889. So realistically, you could buy it for 18.5 right now. Why would you want to sell it for 20? If you were buying it, why would you want to buy it for 20? If you're buying it for 20, you're actually buying higher than the offer.
Okay.
So you'd be literally buying higher than you could possibly buy it. There's no need to buy it that high. That's what I'm trying to say. You're trying to buy it
Yeah, I know
too
what
high.
you're saying.
You're trying to buy it too high.
Okay.
You know, so if I look at the
So-
bar chart on it, BLTO. Sorry, BITCF.
No.
BITCF, sorry. I have so many stocks in my head. I dream I dream stocks.
Yep.
I dream
That's
stocks.
dream.
You know I'm all by heart.
I know them all by heart now. So it's like my little kids. So if you look at BITCF and you look at their chart, you could see that they've been going up and down. And I think 16 is the bottom. 16 is the floor. Look at their chart.
I'd love to get it. I'd love to get it at 16.
Well, look at the chart. The chart is bouncing around 16. Look at where I'm pointing.
Okay.
Where I'm pointing is 16. 16 is the
pointing?
floor. I'm pointing at the floor. The floor is
Okay.
16 cents. The floor is at 16 cents. It is consistently hitting 16, 17 cents. So why buy it for 20 when you know it's been consistently going down? And in fact, after this promotion, this stock has actually come down. So two things could happen. Either it could go lower, which I think it could,
Yeah.
based on the fact that the volume has died. So I think it could go lower, even lower than 16, personally. Or some news could come out. Yeah, I do believe it could go lower. Or some news could come out, and this could come back up. Because understand, if they don't bring any news right now, what's going to be the catalyst to take this back up? Nothing.
You're right.
There's no catalyst. You know?
You're
So
right.
they...
Has there been any news on it? Or has it been...
Well, there was
Not
news
right.
that took it up to where it is. So they either have to
Okay.
have more news or have some type of catalyst to take it back up, because what's happening
Right.
is the market makers don't believe it's worth more than what it's worth.
Wow.
So
Okay.
they'll let it go up,
Good.
but then they take it right back down, and now it's dying. It's dying on a tree. Like, look at it. It only traded 500,000 shares. I don't think you need to rush to buy that stock. That's my opinion.
Okay. Wow. I learned something every day. Didn't I just learn
Yeah,
something?
just don't get caught up in the hype. BITCF had a good run. The time to make the
It did.
money would have been then.
I know.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're chasing what? What exactly are you chasing now from BITCF? They don't have the momentum right now. So now the momentum is dying. So now's the time as a sniper, I want to watch it. I want to watch it. Because the volume is not strong. So why would I be buying something with dying volume? That's a recipe for disaster.
So there's other stocks to be looking at that's less money.
That's
that
correct.
You can make on.
That's correct.
So, all right.
Now, if the stock was staying down, but the volume was 10 million shares a day, I would not say that. But when I start seeing the volume dying and I see the stock going down, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's not something that I'm interested in.
So the volume is a big part of it too.
The volume, the momentum. And it's lost a lot of momentum and it's lost a lot of volume. That concerns me.
I don't think I've been talking to you too much. I would have known this already.
Well,
so I'm glad that I brought it up. That's all.
You know, everything is timing and positioning. You know, when I talked to you about USRM, it was hot at that time. And it was still had momentum. When I talked to you about BITCF, it was hot at the time. It had momentum. But what happens is when these stocks go up dramatically, at some point they're going to meet resistance. And when they meet that resistance, that's when you see the stocks come back down. They're going to go back to earth because they're not really worth 20 cents. Even though they have news saying they're going to do all these big things, they haven't done it yet. You know, CDII had huge news that they're going to make 60 million a year. But they're not making 60 million a year yet. So when they make 60 million a year, CDII will definitely be worth more than 2 cents. At that point, I don't believe they'll be at 2 cents. They will most likely be at a higher price.
But I'm still waiting for the DIOC to come down.
I'm long in that.
To go. Yeah.
I think CDII could be a monster. I think hemp.
I'm super long in CDI.
I think hemp, HEMP, can be a monster.
Yep. Me too, bro.
I think ERBB can be a monster. There's a lot. There's a lot of companies that I really like. I like USRM. I like stem cell research for the industry, for the company, you know. But these companies are going to have problems. They're going to hit bumps in the road. There's going to be snags. Things are not going to go right. They're not going to meet earnings. They're not going to meet estimates.
Yeah.
The deals are going to fall through. That's what happens in business. And when these things happen, these stocks go down. And I've been in the industry long enough to see that all these things don't always happen. Just because they put out a press release saying they're going to make 60 million doesn't mean they're going to make 60 million. So that's something we have to realize.
BITCF about China putting money in it. I think that's what it was.
Well, I think
Did you hear anything about that, Tom?
China's going to put money in it, but China will put money in it when they're ready to.
I think it's like coming now.
Well, it didn't come on Friday.
Well, maybe it comes tomorrow. I'm going to go to the computer and look.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
Wait, there's somebody in China?
When I see the shares die up to 500,000 shares at 20 cents, that's not a good sign.
No, you're right.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, why is the volume dying? Look at IPNFF. The halt killed that stock. So when certain things kill stocks, momentum dies, I lose interest. I move on to the next one. Move on to the next. Move on to the next more hot stock that's moving. We're looking for stocks that are moving. BITCF, it's already moved. Now, could it move more? It could. No, I'm not saying it's done. It might not be done. There may be way more runs left in it. I just think it's done right now. It's not my number one pick. It's not my number one pick. I'm going to be watching it, but it's not my number one pick for the week.
Right.
I think BLTO, I think we should definitely be watching BLTO tomorrow. I think there's a lot of promoters pushing it tomorrow, and I think it could do really well, and I think we could see it past $2 tomorrow. I think that's realistic.
That's awesome.
I think that
but I'm not
SHOM is being promoted tomorrow. So I think that's going to be interesting. I want to see how the promoters do on that one. So there's a lot of stocks I'm going to be watching. I'm interested in seeing how MMEX does tomorrow because it's been climbing every day with a lot of power.
Killer.
With a lot of power.
Power on Friday.
I'm interested in seeing how USRM does. I'm interested in seeing how GIGL does. GIGL has had a lot of power. USRM has had a lot of power. You know? So these stocks at some point are going to hit resistance, and the market makers are going to say, hey, slow down. You're not worth 30 cents. You're not worth 20 cents. You're not worth 40 cents. That's what happens.
Wow. It's hard, you know, because you just think that it's almost like there's so many stocks, and then you think about it, you got to go back and look at it again, and again, slow down.
Like, look at CNBX. Look at CNBX and OWCP. Both of them are great examples of stocks that were really hot, had tons of momentum, and now they've met their match. They've met their match. They went too high up. So the market makers will say, hey, you're not worth $3. You're worth $1.
Right.
MCIG.
So,
It's not worth 60 cents. It's worth 20, 30 cents. You know, there's so many examples of these stocks that they go up and then they come back down. One that I really like is KSHB, Kush Bottles. And it was just at $2, and right now it's right back up to $3. And I like it.
kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Shoot.
I really like KSHB, Kush Bottles, because they do all the bottling, all the packaging, and all the bottling for the companies. Smart. They've got their angle.
Say that ticker again. Say it again.
KSHB. KSHB, Kush Bottles.
Oh, I
Kush
never looked
Bottles.
at this one.
Like the name.
Yeah, they're one that I really like, and they've just recently went from $2 to $3. They had a huge
We're
move.
too late on that.
They had a huge move, and just in the last couple of weeks.
At 280
Yeah,
right
they
now.
weren't.
Yeah.
They were stuck. They weren't moving or anything.
Oh.
I was looking at them and they weren't moving. It was weird. So I
Oh,
forgot
that
about
chart is beautiful.
I know. I love that company.
chart is beautiful. And
I
it's at a dip. Oh,
I love that company. That is one of the best stocks to buy in America.
chart
That company
gorgeous.
is legitimate. They are licensed in America to distribute marijuana, packaging, and bottling.
Is that an OTC?
OTCQB.
I hate
So
OTC
when you
because
say
I have to pay
I
for
don't
it.
know. When you say packaging and bottling, to where? Everywhere?
Yeah, they're a packaging company. They're a bottling company.
And so the people that they're going to use them to do their packaging and bottling company.
Oh yeah, they're
That's the
already
only one out there?
they're already working with companies in Canada, United States, all over the place. They're huge. They're huge. They're a real company. They're a real company. And they're a big company.
They didn't have
Yeah,
anything going on.
Cut out in a minute.
All right, guys, we've
Yeah,
gone on
that's
for
going
2 hours
Okay.
and 30 minutes. Thank you for everything, guys. This has been Real Talk
Thank you.
episode 4. Thank you, Sherry, for your input today. Thank you, Tony, my main man, my co-host on the show, for everything today. We've been on fire for 2.5 hours. This is the longest show I've ever done in my history of YouTube, just so you know. And
Wow.
it was done
Love
with
you
you
too.
two guys. And we got to leave with our famous music.
Yes.
We need some tunes. Here we go, guys.
Love.
Are you listening?
Watch for our full alert, guys. It's coming up in a few hours. What's hot? What's not? It's been another unbelievable episode of my main man, Tony Brownn, and Sherry. Thank you for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe. Download that app at Google Play. Make sure you pick it up at the Apple Store. And remember, all we do... What do we do, Sherry?
You winners.
What do we do, Sherry?
All Rich does is bring you winners.
And let me hear that one more time, Tony. Let me hear it. What do we do?
Bring you the winners, baby.
All right, people.
Oh,
Have a nice
yeah, he's tired.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, Rich.
I'm going to go back to printing that paper. Are you printing paper? Think about it,
I'm
guys.
checking out the stuff.
Why work for it when you can print it? Just saying. All right, guys. Onward and upward, everybody. We love you all. Without you, none of this is possible.
Woo!
Peace.
What do you do?
Peace out, man.